office.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the GPS directions first before driving to the mall.
Turn right at the light. In 1,000 miles, you will reach Montreal.
Not Montreal, the mall.
Recalculating. 6,000 miles to Nepal.
No, the mall.
Checking first is smart.
Recalculating.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We got the big deals at the Big Rock. Got the big deals at the Big Rock.
Hey Arkansas, it's Terry Harrison at the Big Lot, where you'll find the biggest selection, the biggest savings, and now you'll find Big Steve Landers.
That's right, Arkansas. I'm back in the car business at the Big Lot. Don't be confused. The real Steve Landers deals are at Chris Crain Dodge Jeep Ram.
Come see me and Big Steve at the Big Lot, Chris Crain Dodge Jeep Ram, Alco Road in Benton.
The Big Lot Benton.
Willie D's Rock and Roll Piano Bar open every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Cold drinks and dueling pianos. Deep Nightclub downstairs hosts karaoke on Tuesdays and DJs spin on Friday and Saturday nights. Visit WillieD'sPianoBar.com.
Come and get your Willie on.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, it's time for Arkansas's #1 caller-driven sports show. It's Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network with your hosts, Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaeffer. Lock it in and get ready to dial us up. Drive Time Sports is on the air.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Time Sports here on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaeffer is out today. Should be back on Monday. Soon to be joined by Bart Reed. Thanks to Martin Orthopedics. I'm Randy Rainwater from the capital city. Hot outside, so get inside, stay inside, and we'll take you until 7 o'clock. Oh, by the way, we had such a great show on Friday. I thought, why not last Friday? Why not let's do it again today? Well, not quite where we have 2 Baseball Hall of Famers on with us, but not only Trey Biddy. That's always a star moment of hogsports.com. But today we're going to be joined by Isiah Joe. Isiah Joe, who just, barely months ago, part of that Oklahoma City Thunder basketball team that won an NBA championship. Actually, if you want to say somewhat 2 championships now. One in Seattle because the Supersonics traded Seattle for Oklahoma City, and there was 1 championship won by Seattle. Now 2, if you want to count Oklahoma City. But nevertheless, whichever way you look at it, congratulations to Isiah Joe, Jalen Williams, and others as they won their version of the NBA championship. They'll join us at 5:30. Daryl Macon, remember Daryl? Little Rock Hall, played his collegiate basketball at the University of Arkansas. He will join us, as well as the one and the only Bill Ingram. There's only one Bill. Only one Bill. He will join us by way of the Arkansas Hawks. He will join us also at 5:30. Well, when I first looked at this headline, and I thought, man, they let him off easy. didn't have to vacate. That's the fancy term. Vacate. Didn't have to vacate any any games. Their coach did get one more suspended game, but that's not going to happen until 2026. That is Sharon Moore. This was over the sign stealing investigation. Now, the NCAA, in their infinite wisdom, in doing all of their investigation, could not actually determine whether or not the sign stealing actually helped Michigan win a game or not, or games. And further, they couldn't determine the actual role of Jim Harbaugh. But I will say, if you are a college and you are thinking about hiring Jim Harbaugh, you better be prepared for about 14 years, because that's how long it's going to be, because he had the show cause, the infamous show cause put on him. 10 years show cause that will take effect after the 4-year show cause he received in a previous case. We're talking 14 years before he is going to be able to coach at the NCAA Power 4 level. But here's the kicker. You can still hire him, but you would only, unfortunately, you would accept all the sanctions that he's receiving from the NCAA. So that really is that. And for 2 years, the University of Michigan, they will be forfeiting $20 million to the NCAA. They need it badly. Surprised they didn't go for more. But anyway. I mean, is that basically as easy of a slap on the wrist as you can receive? I mean, this was blatant cheating. And combine that with you didn't have to vacate any games, didn't have nothing said about the national championship, that who knows what influence that could have had on that game, because they couldn't determine the extent of the so-called sign stealing, how much it resulted or could have resulted into W's for Michigan.
It's a head scratcher.
That's the NCAA at its best.
That's exactly right.
NCAA at its best. Now, there will be the argument, Bart. How many times have we heard this argument? I must admit, sometimes I think it's viable. Sometimes I think it's fair. That you question sometimes if you are among the elite of elite, especially coming off of an NCAA, well, it wasn't NCAA, but it was a college football playoff championship. You were deemed the national champions. That puts you into some pretty good blue blood territory. Yep. That the blue bloods don't suffer like maybe some others would. There's a double standard there.
Huge double standard.
So anyway,
But, when you've got as much clout and power as a lot of these top tier, like the Michigans, Ohio States, Florida, Randy, they really control their own narrative a little bit. They're so
most times
big.
they do. Yes, you're right. And most times they do. Well, Bart, I don't know. You may have been walking into the building. You may not have been able to heard it was one of the better openings I've had in a long time. Usually Rick opens for us. But anyway, okay. Isiah Joe comes on today. I know that
Yes.
you have got, I guess you can, I'm not sure I'd call it vested interest, but you're going to be part of this weekend with Isiah Joe, are you not?
I am. So myself and Don Gray out of Missouri, we're kind of the managing leaders of the kind of how the workflow goes, and it's been a successful camp. And is Daryl Macon also coming in?
Daryl Macon is also coming in.
Yep, and see,
according to Bill Ingram.
Yeah, no, will Daryl will be here, so it's a double vested interest. Daryl and I trained to get ready for NBA training camp, 60 days, 52 in a row. So just good guys and a great program. So I'm happy for that. And Bill does a lot to give back to the community, and Summerwood's a great place to have a camp. Beautiful facility.
I'm going to nail him down on this, but I'm guessing that massive tournament that he had every year, I guess it's gone.
That's what he said, and then I thought he was gonna do it again. So we do need to ask him, because listen, that leaves a huge hole in the state, not just for a tournament, but Randy, that was one of the nation's best tournaments for grassroots for a long time. So I hope Real Deal comes back.
Real Deal in the Rock. That was one of the. I mean, you can say there has been 2 or 3 events that involve downtown Little Rock, and you could often say even the surrounding areas. But Val Hansen used to put on the 3-on-3.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was such an event for the longest.
Yes,
and there's probably others that are slipping my mind, but nevertheless, those were great events.
Is that Hoop Fest?
Hoop Fest.
So there's some that separate themselves. Hoop Fest, Real Deal, those are.
Hoop-de-doo, it became known. I mean, there was some other names that kind of hung around there for a couple of years and then finally just died. But you could go down on the streets of downtown Little Rock, you'd see basketball, little mini half courts, and it was a lot of fun.
That was a big deal. Randy, you got to be, because you're yourself an excellent athlete back in the day. There's a difference between street ball, outside basketball, and indoor basketball.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a ton of indoor players that are not great outside.
I can tell you that asphalt doesn't feel very good.
No.
Asphalt, concrete, whatever you're playing on. I can only imagine, Bart, it's right there off the interstate. It's right off of Mississippi. Well,
yeah.
Canis.
Yeah.
I have passed by there before underneath that bridge, and there have been some battles going on.
Absolutely. I drove by the other night. Lily and I were doing something in Little Rock. It was 10 o'clock. There were probably 100 people out there.
Oh, they were just warming up.
Yeah.
And you play until you lose. You hold the court until you lose. Once you lose, you got to go over and sit on the side.
Yep, be a long time for you.
And then wait for your turn.
Yep.
That's the fun part of that. Make it, take it.
That's right.
That was the old motto. Make it, take it. So, well, okay. Thought we had support Marcus there, but I guess when he heard Marcus wasn't on, he decided he couldn't support. So that is the way that it works. We can ask this later to Isiah, Joe, and Bill, but we'll ask it now. Is this open to the public?
Yes, absolutely. Come in and encouraged to actually watch. They pull both bleachers out, so actually both sessions are open to the public. So you have the general camp, and then you have the invite-only camp on Sunday, and both of those are open. And you will get quite a few people, especially for the elite camp, Randy. You've got a lot of people looking at the talent on the court.
So how open is this?
Well, it's
we're not. I'm sorry, but you're not going to see coaches.
No. You won't see coaches, but it's free of charge. You're not paying to get in, so you come in, watch a little bit, watch all of it. They'll have, before we had both the two gyms. You had up top and below, and you were operating at the same time. If they do them in the new facility, Randy, where you've got 3 courts right there, so you could, or 2 courts, you could do it boom, 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 all in one building, then you can really, really get fans in there that want to watch because you can see both courts.
How many kids total will be participating?
So you got,
yes.
Yep. So there's 65, Randy, in the younger kind of what I call the middle school. That's first, and then there's another 50 or so in the afternoon for the high schoolers, and then you've got what appears to be right at 30 the next day for the elite camp.
So the other day you were attempting to name the top 25 boys, top 25 girls.
Yes.
And you managed to worm off the hook. You did finally give the top 25
boys
for the boys.
Yeah.
Are you prepared now at the top 25 for the ladies?
Yes. Let me get my bag. You want to do it now or after the break?
No. I mean, we've got plenty of time. Okay. Plenty of time because, I mean, in fairness, we need to finish what we started, still saying goes.
Well, certainly as we talked about, the young ladies deserve their due as they've got their own set of exceptional talent within the state. And listen, it's just, as your little trivia question, Wilson and I were talking about that. So before we get into this, I'm missing one. So you had Little Rock, Memphis, Jackson, 3 places in North Carolina.
Oh, who produces per capita?
Yes. Alpharetta, Georgia, Atlanta.
Yeah.
And Randy, I cannot think of there were 2 more because you had.
There was one in South Carolina.
South Carolina.
One in South Carolina.
That's it.
And did you get DFW?
DFW. Okay, I could not remember if there was one in Texas. So DFW. Okay. Woo.
Per capita.
That'd be SEC country right there, buddy.
Yeah, baby. I'm waiting.
All right.
Silence is not golden.
No. Young ladies. All right. So I think with the summer that she's had, you have to put Whitley Rogers right at the top of the list. 6 foot, Little Rock Christian, played for Tennessee Flight on the EYBL, has really, really, really blown up. Super talented. She's very physical, very strong. I think the biggest thing is she's added to her repertoire and become a decent 3-point shooter, and I think that's obviously she has an Arkansas offer, Michigan State, Tennessee, so she's come in with some big dogs, and something where I'm excited to see what she does. But she's so physical. To be 6 foot, she really knows how to use her body and leverage weight, and so excited that she had a great summer because she certainly blew up. I think next on the list, you got to go with Jada Maples. Jada is a combo guard, plays for Mavs Elite, Earl High School.
Earl, okay.
Which, listen, look out for Earl because they were already good anyway.
They were good last year, yes.
Yes, but they've had 2 move in. So they get to be even better. So Jada's got it narrowed down to her top 4 or 5. And these are Power 5 schools. Missouri, Virginia Tech, Arkansas is not offered. I think they should have. Arkansas is not offered. But this is a Power 4 type talent. Randy, she is one of the best females I've ever seen at live ball dribble and separation on the perimeter. And she's, because you love the floater game, she has got one heck of a floater game, which I love to see. She's extremely hard to guard, so we'll see in the next little bit. She'll be an early signee. Then you have Peyton Futch from Lakeside. Peyton's a combo guard, 5'9". She goes, and she was on Mavs Elite as well. So, Randy, she goes to the last summer live period, gets a UALR offer, Middle Tennessee offer. So, D1's hit. When one hits, you tend to see more. So, Peyton's just a natural scorer. She averaged right at 20 last year and certainly can put up points in a hurry. You have Peyton Cottle in Fayetteville, which we had a chance to do the Crain team and watch how talented they were. She's be a sophomore and is uber talented. She's got at least 10 to 15 Power 4 offers. Arkansas is not on that list yet, but everybody else in the SEC is. Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Ole Miss. So very talented combo guard, shoots the ball really well, and look for big things from her. You have Miss Lily Reed in Sheridan, Mavs Elite, 17U. I think knockdown shooter, has really expanded her game to go in the post and use her strength, but very good ball handler, very good passer. So Lily certainly is getting some D1 interest, and I don't think she'll be an early signee, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. You have someone we know really well, Coach Fimple's daughter, Katie Fimple, North Little Rock. Very talented, is already committed to OBU, so she'll be signing in the early period. Guard, Katie's really skilled, shoots the ball extremely well, great defender, tough, hard nose. And again, we love to see our in-state institutions sign in-state kids. So Katie will be over there playing with one of my girls, Caden Porter, that was also from Sheridan 2 years ago. And so they'll be teammates, and looking forward to watching them play. Journey Jefferson is a point guard from Earl, and she's a young one, so she'll be a junior this year. Journey's got offers from pretty much everybody, and I love how diverse she is on the offensive end. She's a great ball handler, very, very, very good at separating, and very good separating in the mid-range, can shoot it from deep, finishes really well, handles the ball like a pro. She is really, really good. About 5'8", might get a little bit taller, but just so skilled. Lexi Wallace is from Clinton. Lexi's one of my favorite players to watch. She's about 5'5", and she is tough. She shoots the ball really well. She was a Pangos All-American with Lily. Her dad's an orthopedic surgeon in Clinton, and her dad played at Arkansas State. Lexi's really, really, really has a high basketball IQ, gets in the lane, goes into contact really well, draws a lot of fouls, shoots a very high clip, something like 83% from the free throw line. So she's just one of those multi-talented guards. A little bit on the small side, but again, she's a true point guard. Kristen Cooper from Parkview. Kristen was also a Pangos All-American. I had the pleasure of playing with her dad at Sheridan, who was an excellent basketball player. Kristen's got D3 and D2 offers, no D1 offers as of yet, but is a true point guard. We're about 5'6", averaged 6 assists and right at 14 points last year. Led Parkview to the playoffs, where they unfortunately had to meet Farmington, but actually played them pretty tough. So look for big things for her. She won't be an early signee. She'll ride it out to the end and see if she can possibly add some offers, which I certainly think she can. Karsten Scrivener from Nashville. Karsten's a 5'8" guard, plays for ISO Joe. Karsten's a high-level guard, makes really great decisions, shoots the ball really well, is a great mid-range player, which we've talked about. Like her stop and pop ability really, and it's kind of refreshing to see that that's still there. I bet she gets 8 to 10 points a game just off her stop and pop. So don't have an update for offers yet, but I know she does have some D2 offers and D3 offers in the state.
All right, we'll come back and wrap it up. That is the top 25 ladies, according to Bart Reed, thanks to Martin Orthopedics. I'm Randy Rainwater. That's Bart Reed. Stay tuned. Drive Time Sports will continue in a moment.
Join 103.7 The Buzz for the Oaklawn Sports Tailgate Party Saturday, September 6th. Don't miss the only Little Rock Games tailgate party of the year. We'll have hot food, cold drinks, and your favorite Buzz personalities behind Double B's at Markham and Van Buren. The Oaklawn Sports Tailgate Party is brought to you in part by Double B's, Bud Light, Reliance Bank, Crain Dodge Jeep Ram, and UAMS Health Orthopedic and Spine Hospital. Special thanks to Fence World, Arkansas Portable Toilets, and Arkansas 10 and Special Event Rental. Go to 1037thebuzz.com for your free tickets.
It's the largest and heaviest moving part in your home, the garage door. It never fails at a convenient time. Trust Overhead Door Company of Little Rock to keep your garage door running smoothly 24/7, 365 days a year. With same-day service and trusted technicians, Overhead Door Company of Little Rock is the team to call. The original Red Ribbon Garage Door Company since 1967. Call 501-510-6399 or schedule online at overheaddooroflittlerock.com.
Ray Tucker with good news for enthusiasts of Triumph motorcycles. Honda of North Little Rock now carries the legendary classics and cutting-edge rides. We have the Bonneville Bobber, Daytona 600, the TF450X, the Stunning Elvis Presley Edition, and the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. You get the idea. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Lion Legal is having their quarterly free legal clinic Saturday, August 23rd at the Lehman Library in North Little Rock from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30. In service to the community, Lion Legal provides 4 legal clinics per year to help people like you with common life issues. Divorce and custody, sealing criminal records, debt defense, consumer protection, real estate issues, and simple wills and POAs. Bring all relevant information and documents to the Lehman Library Saturday, August 23rd for Lion Legal's free legal clinic.
I'm Dr. Lowry Barnes. When it comes to orthopedic care, there's no place like the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. We built this hospital just for you, with state-of-the-art surgical suites, advanced technology, and the state's largest group of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons. It's the best place in Arkansas to get you moving again. And if you need urgent orthopedic care, UAMS Ortho Now is right here for you at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, where motion lives and service leads.
Hello, folks. It's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. Today, I want to talk to you and ask you to consider us for your automotive needs. First, we have a family atmosphere. My grandson, Sam Fletcher, is there every day, along with Zippy, our GM, and an outstanding sales team. We're a family, and that's how we want to treat our customers. Our service department is excellent. We even have loaner cars for customers who buy from us. We don't have loaner cars from buy somewhere else. When it comes to pricing, we put our prices on the windshield. You don't have to find a salesman to ask for a price. Everyone gets the lowest price. We check the internet and we compare the same make and models at all of our competitions. You always get the best deal at Fletcher Dodge, and all of our pre-owned vehicles come with a free warranty. Yes, I did say that. Folks, my goal for 36 years is for you to know us and trust us and know that we value you, our customer. Come see us in person on Warden Road in Sherwood or shop us online at FletcherDeals.com.
Join Rogers Saturday at Simmons Bank Arena for Wingstop. All-you-can-eat chicken wings featured by local restaurants and vendors dishing up their best wing to compete for the People's Choice Award and the coveted Golden Wing Award. Tickets are still available.
Now, back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios. Eat fresh, eat local, eat my catfish. You're in hog heaven. This is Drive Time Sports, a presentation of the Buzz Radio Network.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network. Bart Reed, thanks to Martin Orthopedics. I'm Randy Rainwater. Rick should be back on Monday. Right now, we are joined by Neal Atkinson, my man from Bet Saracen. Man, I didn't realize I had done as many props for the Double R season-long props until I started looking at it, and I'm thinking, holy smokes. I did do a bunch of those, Neal.
Yeah, you know, every time you hit the drop-down menu, you have to hit show more, show more, show more, and it just keeps on going. So, yeah, I've been bragging. I've been bragging on you and patting myself on the back for getting that much preseason content up on the Razorbacks. I mean, Razorback fans are rabid. They love them, and they deserve this type of content. And like I have said on several different medias, I challenge anybody to find more content, betting content on a college football team than what Bet Saracen has on Arkansas. And we got it up 2 weeks before the season starts, and that's great. I don't know how you came up with all of these stats. Well, I know how you did and what you went through to put them up and all of that. But I mean, I'm just grasping, trying to hang a line on the Alabama A&M, and I think we're going to make.
And I'm waiting on you before I do the game one props. I'm waiting on you.
Yeah, I think we're going to take the same approach we did last year against UAPB and only do first half props because just the nature of that game, and like last year Auburn beat them 73-3. So if it's hard to assume that all of those players will be in for the full game. At least we hope they don't have to be in for the full game against.
Boy, you're
against
right about
Alabama
that.
A&M.
Oh my gosh!
So,
I didn't want. I will not show up Monday if that ends up being like a 28-7 or 28-10 game. I'm not going to show up Monday for the show.
Don't speak it out loud. Yeah, don't speak it out loud. We're changing the subject real quick. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
There
on
you
that
go.
one.
There you go.
But yeah, just this weekend, hey, don't forget to take care of the UFC profit boost, big UFC 319. If you're not going to have it on pay-per-view, of course, Saracen will. Another big fight tomorrow. And, of course, baseball's getting very interesting. Who's going to throttle the Brewers? That's just been incredible showing that they've had here recently. And we'll see. I mean, the Padres overtook the Dodgers now in first place in that one. So, a lot of baseball to be played. And WNBA, full contact WNBA is in progress. But the other night they had, 3 of them ejected. So that's entertaining. And this is my last weekend that I might be able to kind of settle down, because with college football starting next Saturday, we're going to open up the lid, and it's going to be full throttle ahead.
It is that time of the year. Neal, where can they find this good stuff?
Go to BetSaracen.com on the web, or from your phone, just go to the App Store and type in Bet Saracen. Brand new players, never registered before. Make sure you choose a welcome code. We've got one that's called Welcome. Bet 25, get 125 and free bets. Or you can use Boosted, and that way you can tag a bet and get a 100% parlay boost on it. And, of course, everybody else, make sure you hit the promo tab, even the new users, and opt in to the profit boost, the NFL and the SEC championship protections. And, of course, when you make your parlays, you're in on the long shot parlay contest that goes for the rest of the month, too. Everybody have a great weekend, and then next week we're off to the races.
Here we go. Line them up. All right, Neal. We'll talk with you next week. Have a great weekend. Thank you, my friend. Neal Atkinson, by way of Bet Saracen. Before you continue, I'm not sure what number you're on right now with the ladies, but of the top 25. But Kelsey Music is the new women's head coach at the University of Arkansas for women's basketball. What have you seen so far, Bart, with her approach to particularly our in-state talent? Because you could argue, you could debate, you could whatever you want to call it. I mean, we've talked about the men, how we sometimes feel they've been overlooked by the University of Arkansas. What are you seeing right now with Kelly and her approach?
Well,
Kelsey.
I think she's been more active with in-state players than Coach Neighbors was. But what I'm hearing, there's no NIL money. So there's still being signed a lot of European players. So I think we've had, just for this coming up season, I think she signed 3 international players just in the last couple of months. So the only player on that list that I just mentioned that she's offered that's in-state is Whitley Rogers. And that was not a late offer, but it just happened about a month ago. So to me, there's 3 or 4 on this list that you should have. I mean, if Jada Maples is looking in the SEC, and she's an in-state talent.
Getting ready from Earl.
And she's really gifted. And she's looking at SEC schools that have better records than Arkansas. So why is she not one of the first players you go after?
Absolutely.
So, we have to be fair to the coach because she's new. And she's building a roster from scratch almost. So only time will tell, but she's been more active than Coach Neighbors. But I just don't think that's saying a lot. But we'll see, because there's a couple more, I think, 2026s and 2027s that have the ability to play. But, I think there's also, Randy, some players on this list that have the opportunity to have academic scholarships that could be great preferred walk-on type of players, but they're not getting contacted either. And the thing that puzzles me is you have 2 Arkansas coaches now on staff with her. You have Nikki Bradford and then the coach from Farmington. So Randy shouldn't have an excuse. They should know where the talent is. They're in-state coaches and have roots, so we will see.
Okay, if you would finish out the top 25.
Yes, absolutely. So, and Randy, I really should have put her second on the list, and I was wanting to get to her because she was just a freshman last year, but Easton McCollum from Farmington. I mean, she's got offers from everybody in the entire country, and she's 5'9", combo guard, shoots the ball Steph Curry-ish. I mean, she's got effortless power and range, effortless. And it's a lot of fun to watch her, but she was a big reason for their success, averaged right at 20 points a game as a freshman for Farmington. So extremely gifted. Again, she's got interest from UConn and offers from pretty much everybody in the SEC and everybody from the Big 12. So she has a tremendous amount of talent and only upside. So I wanted to make sure and get to her because she's so young. But probably if you look at it from the ranking of the recruits, I would put her right between Jada and Whitley Rogers. She's that talented.
Wow.
Yeah. So Mira Johnson, which is Greene County Tech, is next on the list. She was a 1,000-point scorer last year as a junior. Randy, she moved from Missouri. And so last year, Greene County Tech was her first year, but was really dominant, 15 points, 10 rebounds, and really led Greene County Tech to a state championship berth where they played Farmington and played them extremely tough. And so she's very, very talented. I'm not quite sure of her offers, but I can tell you she's a Division I type talent. I know SEMO had already offered her. St. Louis University had already offered her. So this is a young lady to watch. 6 foot, 6'1", left-handed, and you know left-handers are always
unique.
Interesting. Yes, they are
unique.
Yep. And so our next one is also a left-hander, Isiah Christian from Lake Hamilton, 5'8". She's got Division II offers and Hendricks Division III offers in state. She's very talented shooter, has great ball skills, excellent defender. Lake Hamilton's kind of been I would say, the staple of that 5A South for a long time, and they're looking to have a big season at Lake Hamilton again. But Isiah is certainly a really talented player. She could go JC and then maybe look to go Division I. I think she's got that type of skill. She shoots the ball really well and handles it really well. So look for big things from her. And then you have the twins, combo guards from Springdale Harbor, which we also were up for the Crain team in a battle against Fayetteville. So you have Madison Campbell and McKinley Campbell. And so McKinley was on Lily's Mavs elite team, and she is a jet. As Ed Durham told Lily, you better get up the court to get to your spot up because the ball is going to be pushed. 5'4", so explosive. Only Division II and Division III offers, but because at Springdale at Harbor they've been so talented, she hadn't had the high school stats, I think, to kind of support her talent level, but both of these young ladies, I think, are right there on the cusp of high-level Division II type players. So excellent guards. Excellent. Jayla Yonkers from Mountain Home. So Jayla has, Mountain Home, Randy's they kind of get lost in translation, but Jayla has offers from Lindenwood, so she has the D1 offer, a ton of D2 offers. And she's again another combo guard that can play the 1 or the 2. I think probably at the D1 level, she would play more of a 2. She's great shooter, but she's also really good at penetrating. Averaged right at 5 assists, 7 rebounds last year. So again, multi-talented, can do a lot of things. Really good defender. So Mountain Home, made a deep run in the 5A last year. So look for big things from them, and I think she's someone that will continue to shoot up because she had a really solid summer. To kind of finish off the list, you have Maddie Mannion out of Valonia. So I looked, and I think Maddie has hit her 240 three-point shot already. And she's just got one more year left. So Maddie's at 5'10". She's got D3 into College of the Ozarks, Hendricks. Good schools, excellent rebounder. if she can kind of work on her ball skills, because she shoots it so well. I think she's for sure locked D2 talent. But as you know, we were there for Valonia. Valonia's really good too. And so I look for her role to kind of increase as Sydney Middleton graduated, McDonald's All-American nominee last year. So that opens up some on-court time for ball handling. So Maddie's a really talented player, and again, 230, 43s is a lot of threes.
That's pretty amazing into itself.
Yep.
Part of this one from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line. Excellent question. I when you said there was no NIL money for the University of Arkansas ladies program, we heard that last year.
Yeah.
I would have thought, some regards, new coach coming in, there would be some.
You would think.
Dollars there. Why no dollars?
I don't know. But, Randy, don't you think if you're a coach coming in, go get some dollars?
If I'm the new coach coming in, I'm going to insist. That's going to be part of my. That was basically Calipari.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do it.
No NIL dollars, no John Calipari.
But if you don't win, you're sure not getting any.
Well, absolutely.
So, got to put a product on the court.
In the conversation with live fan feedback at 1037thebuzz.com. Presented on Drive Time Sports by Aero Truck Sales. Find them online at aerotruck.com.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See shelter agent Angie Collins in Heber Springs, Michelle Herring in Whitehall, or Jonathan Stone in Lone Oak today.
The Genesises from Genesis of Conway have become so popular that now Genesis of Conway has a tremendous selection of pre-owned trade-ins. Highline vehicles, low mileage, great prices at a dealership that is unlike any you've ever seen. Spoiler alert, when you visit Genesis of Conway, you will get spoiled. It's unlike any dealership you've ever seen, even when you go pre-owned. Go see them, and it will hit you like it has so many. Genesis of Conway, the future of luxury today.
We all have that nagging pain. For me, it was in my back, and I thought it would go away if I kept running. If I really worked to my core strength, it might dissipate. Well, guess what? That's not always the case. Hey, everybody, Josh Neighbors here for QC Kinetics. If you have that continued pain, you should schedule your free consultation today with the medical professionals at QC Kinetics. They've turned around thousands of lives with their regenerative treatments that work with your body to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. And these are natural therapies, so we're not heading to the pharmacy all the time. We're not going back to the doctor after surgery all the time. And the best news is you can bring your x-rays and MRI to QC Kinetics. It's a no-pressure chat and a thorough evaluation that could change your life. So stop living with that day-to-day joint and muscle pain. So grab the phone right now, give them a call, 501-214-5880. Ask about that free consultation at 501-214-5880. Once again, 501-214-5880.
An official message from Medicare.
I'm saving money on my Medicare prescriptions. Maybe you can save too. With Medicare's Extra Help program, my premium is zero and my out-of-pocket costs are low. Who should apply? Single people making less than $24,000 a year or married couples who make less than $32,000. Even if you don't think you qualify, it pays to find out.
Go to ssa.gov/extrahelp. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
You've heard the phrase, all hat, no cattle. Well, Whataburger's new Bacon Wrangler Double is anything but. It's got beef that's never from the freezer, always hot off the grill. Monterey Jack and American cheese, bacon, crispy onions, chipotle aioli, and pickles. You might even say it's all cattle and a hat. A 5-inch bun hat, cowboy. Introducing the new Whataburger Bacon Wrangler Double. For a limited time. What a burger.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios, where it's much like any of the 7 Eat My Catfish locations, minus the always fresh, delicious food options like the family pack catfish dinners. Drive Time Sports, tapped with refreshing sports opinion on the Buzz Radio Network.
The financial professionals at First Security are big fans of Arkansas. And that's because they're Arkansas-owned and Arkansas-focused. They take care of communities just like they take care of customers. Whatever better means to you, you're going to find more of it at First Security. As Arkansas's community bank, First Security is all about taking care of customers and making life better right here in Arkansas. So more people can buy a home, run a business, and a whole lot more. Check them out at fsbank.com. That's First Security Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, only in Arkansas. That's First Security Bank. All right, Bart, let's see here. I never did do this because you came in late as usual.
Oh, man, I thought I was going to...
It's time for the Basketball Insider in Arkansas. It's Bart Reed, made possible by Martin Orthopedics, with locations in Little Rock, North Little Rock, Cabot, and Hot Springs Village, staffed with fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons and sports medicine specialists. For more information on the web, go to martinortho.care. Now, here's Bart.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought you were going to forget that, my friend.
Okay, this is from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line. Says, I would take an Arkansas National Championship if Pittman got suspended for a few games. Yeah, I think we all would. Let's see, ask Bart, this from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line. I'm about 4 years younger than Bart. I remember watching him at Hoop Fest. Was that the best tournament ever? Did you play in the Hoop Fest?
Oh, I loved playing outdoors. Loved it. Non-stop I played.
Yeah, it's funny because I always think about playing outside. And, of course, it was always half court.
Mm-hmm.
No one was blessed enough to have enough room to play, 90 feet basketball court. So you never had that much space. You didn't have goals on both ends. Probably good because we'd have killed ourselves otherwise. But anyway, always hated to play when the wind was blowing.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about you think you finally get a little bit of a groove, and then next thing you know, here's that old wind. And if it's gusting, especially 1 minute, you can throw it over the goal. The next minute, you can knock it down 2 or 3 feet short of the goal. But that was the love of playing outside.
Oh, so much fun. And I think you learn, and I don't know if you agree with this, but I think it's, basketball IQ was so much better. The kids are more skilled now, but the IQ is lower. And that's a consensus through the – a lot of that is we learn the game from playing half court, outside, a lot of 3-on-3, 2-on-2. So I think it picks up your basketball knowledge. But Randy, late now I was in my prime, but they were later. So I played with a 3-on-3 team at these outdoor tournaments. We traveled all. Rob Green played. Michael Hogue played at Arkansas. Me and Joe Schaeffer, and they were all 35 and above, and I was a young guy. We would blow your doors off. Well, because Michael Hogue was 6'10", and was so strong. So we just throw it into him for the first 15 minutes. When he got tired, Rob would just take a couple of shots. So I love playing outdoors. I wish it was something I could still do right now. Too old.
It takes a different cat to play outside. And, you talk about being in shape. You end up in better shape maybe.
Absolutely.
Playing outside because you never stopped.
Never stopped.
I mean, it was like a wind sprint up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And how the goals varied from neighborhood. I mean, not neighborhood, from one friend to the next friend. And one might have a little bit of a pothole, or he might have something. I mean, there was always something. When did you, speaking of basketball IQ, when did you start attaching these names, pick and roll as an example? We did pick and roll. We didn't call it that.
No. No.
I think we did know. I think we did use the terminology screen.
Screen.
I do think we did use the terminology screen.
But we didn't even say ball screen. We just said screen.
Oh, screen. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That terminology, I think a lot of it is something recently that's with the explosion of videos and social media, but we didn't know any of the stuff that we were doing. And that, I think, is what is really cool about it, because a lot of times you're playing outdoors, you're playing against older competition, as you know, which I'm sure you did. So you kind of get thrust into this where you're doing it to survive, and then it becomes ingrained in you.
There was no 1, there was no 2, there was no 3. If you might say, all right, Bart, you're going to play in the post.
Yeah.
Or you're going to play underneath the basket. And such, you'll play on the wing. And, Randy, you'll handle the ball. And we didn't call him point guard. They didn't call me point guard. You're just a guard.
Guard, yeah. Yeah, because you're
the forward, or you're the guy that's playing on the, I think we did call it wing. But, I mean, these weren't terms that, I mean, they were playground terms.
Playground terms. And you know this because you wanted to win and stay on the court. You were going to attack what matchup was
absolutely
advantageous to your team.
Oh, you're going to have Michael Hogue, yeah. Okay, get on the block.
Yep.
Get down there in that little square. And most times they're not outdoor courts. Didn't have a square. You didn't have a lane for that matter.
Right.
But go down there, camp on the right side of the basket. That's your favorite side, and we're going to throw it to you. And you go make the basket.
Go make the basket.
That's how complicated it was.
That's why they say a lot of these guys from New York, Randy, can't shoot because of the wind, because they're always playing outside, because there's not as many. So you go to Rucker Park and the wind's all over the place. Well, you kind of shoot different. Probably some truth to that.
Oh, my gosh. All right, let's see. Ask Bart who his top 3 current NBA players, Arkansas born. Well, you have to put Bobby Portis pretty much near the top, if not the top.
Yeah, Arkansas born.
Isiah Joe.
Austin Reeves.
Nick Smith.
So just Arkansas, so they don't have to play in Arkansas. That's interesting.
Arkansas born.
Yeah.
Didn't say played at the University of Arkansas.
I would say Austin Reeves would be at the top of the list.
The key term is current.
Okay. So
current. Yeah.
Right. Current.
Yeah, Austin Reeves would have to be at the top.
Austin Reeves. And then I guess you would go with Bobby Portis next.
Who do you go 3? What did Nick average? What did Nick average for Charlotte?
I don't know, because
didn't Isiah average about 12?
Yes, so it would definitely be. Yes, that's right. Isiah Joe, 3. It has to be because Nick
he's
was
going to be a guest.
Right, but he's the champion.
I don't want Isiah listening and say what.
But when you're an NBA champion, that kicks you up.
Yeah, that's cred.
But he was such an integral part of what they were doing. But Nick still bounced around a little bit to the G League some last year. So you got to give it to Zay because he signed a big contract and was in the regular rotation. I'm just trying to think if we missed anybody. I don't think so.
No, not off the top of my head.
Yep.
Not, at least not current.
Now Daniel Gafford is
that's a good one. El Dorado.
Yep. So if you were going to put, I would put.
But now he missed the last third of the season with an injury.
He did, but when he was playing, he would. So I would put him a notch above Nick.
How about Malik Monk? How about Khalil Ware?
Oh, okay. Well, listen.
I got the advantage of listeners.
Okay, so Khalil Ware is the real deal. I don't think he's quite where Gafford is, right? But he's about to get there. He's got all-star potential. I mean, have you watched?
Oh, yes, I've watched.
Spoelstra is really smart with that. They utilize him, speaking of pick and roll. Boy, that joker.
Daniel Gifford, yes, Doc, was born in El Dorado. And Malik Monk.
Yeah, I wonder how Malik's numbers are. Yeah, because Malik was really
I think Malik averaged about 12.
Okay, so then he would be right up there, too. Maybe right after Isiah Joe. Because he's been in the league a long time.
Where was Malik? Where was he born? In East Arkansas?
Lepanto.
Lepanto?
Yeah.
Lepanto.
Sorry, excuse me.
All right, coming up next, TreyBeattyHogSports.com being brought to you by Crain Hyundai.
Something for over 50 years, you get really good at it. Like Helen here. She's been knitting for over 50 years. Using her needles and yarn, she can knit a working moped, a Civil War-era cannon, even a life-size version of the Arc de Triomphe. Amazing stitch, Helen. We're a lot like Helen Knitting, except we do it with insurance. Williamson Insurance with Auto Owners Insurance, protecting your business and your family for over 50 years.
Hey Central Arkansas, are you getting piggy with it and ready for some football? Donate blood with Our Blood Institute at select mobile blood drives August 16th through the 24th for your chance to win a grand prize tailgate package, including 6 tickets to the September 6th Little Rock game, Traeger Grill, Canopy, Igloo Cooler, and camp chairs. All donors will receive a limited edition football-themed t-shirt, trucker hat, and a free ticket to Magic Springs. So get out on that gridiron and support your community. Visit obi.org/events today. The Zone Hotline on 103.7 The Buzz is presented by Jim's Razorback Pizza with 2 locations, Highway 10 past Taylor Loop and just off the Morgan Maumelle exit.
Why so serious? Sports talk and entertainment.
Let's put a smile on that face.
103.7 The Buzz.
The man accused of killing a couple at Devil's Den State Park is pleading not guilty. Andrew McGann was arraigned on 2 counts of capital murder. Investigators say he confessed to stabbing Kristen and Clinton Brink. His next hearing is set for November 14th. A Hot Springs business owner is facing charges in a human trafficking investigation. More than a dozen massage parlors were raided as part of Operation Obscured Vision. 7 people have been arrested since January, including Zhengguang Liu. He's accused of luring women from China to the U.S., then forcing them into prostitution at 3 of his massage parlors. The State Department of Health will be cutting 30 positions due to budget priorities. The cuts go into effect November the 1st. The jobs being terminated will affect the Hometown Health Support Services Program, Public Health Emergency Preparedness Program, and Health Disparities Elimination Office. This is Caroline Derby for the Buzz Radio Network.
Insure your auto, home, life, and everything in between with Shelter Insurance. Find a local agent by calling 1-800-SHELTER or at shelterinsurance.com.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
A heat advisory is in effect today. We'll get up to 96, but the heat index could get to around 105. Plus, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Will have a high of 96 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear, low of 75. Tomorrow, up to 97, but just a 10% chance of rain. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
Benihana Happy Hour Specials, $3, $6, $9. Sushi, food, and cocktails. Available 5 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday at Benihana Bar.
Tune in to 103.7 The Buzz as Justin Acree and DJ Williams broadcast live from each meeting of the Little Rock Touchdown Club, brought to you by Arkansas Spine and Pain. Justin and DJ will broadcast live from the Doubletree downtown, bringing you interviews with each speaker and their comments to the club live. Monday, the Little Rock Touchdown Club welcomes head hog Sam Pittman. That's The Zone live at the Little Rock Touchdown Club, brought to you by Arkansas Spine and Pain.
I'm Dr. Lowry Barnes. When it comes to orthopedic care, there's no place like the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. We built this hospital just for you, with state-of-the-art surgical suites, advanced technology, and the state's largest group of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons. It's the best place in Arkansas to get you moving again. And if you need urgent orthopedic care, UAMS Ortho Now is right here for you at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, where motion lives and service leads.
Hey, this is Mitch at Red River Ram Dodge Chrysler Jeep. You know, I saw an ad the other day and I thought, no wonder people don't trust car dealers. I looked up the discount they were offering that was $20,000 off, only to find out they put a $12,000 to $15,000 lift kit on this truck, marked it up $38,000, and then said they're taking $20,000 off. Make that make sense in somebody's head. Folks, come check us out. RedRiverRam.com. See why we're Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer, or make that beautiful drive right here to Heber Springs.
Get in the conversation with live fan feedback at 1037thebuzz.com. Presented on Drive Time Sports by Aero Truck Sales. Find them online at aerotruck.com.
You knew the risks when you decided to drive drunk. There could be a crash. People could get hurt or killed. But that didn't stop you, did it? You knew you could get arrested. You could incur huge legal expenses, and you could possibly even lose your job. You were well aware of the consequences of driving drunk. But one thing's for sure. You were wrong when you said it was no big deal. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Paid for by the Arkansas Highway Safety Office.
Hey, it's David Basil from my good friends at Bath Fitter. I've been working with Bath Fitter for over a decade now. They're a family-owned business that's been around for over 40 years. They are the pioneers of the acrylic bath industry. Bath Fitter offers a one-of-a-kind remodeling process that's easy and stress-free. They offer a wide selection of beautiful and functional showers, and with their seamless one-piece walls and hundreds of design options, you can refresh your shower space in no time. They can even convert your existing bath into a shower. Check them out online at bathfitterlittlerock.com and tell them Basil sent you.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Stop and shop at our Conway and Little Rock showrooms. That's Hawks Homes. Has been serving Central Arkansas since 1986. Now, why buy from Hawks? We're the only manufactured and modular dealer that can build your custom home from your plans. You dream it, we can build it. Hunting clubs, churches, classrooms, restaurants, daycare centers, modular office buildings, school dorms. Check them out online at hawkshomes.net.
Hey Arby's fans, this Thursday, August 21st, it's Arby's Guest Fest. They're saying thank you the best way they know how, with free food. Stop by any participating Arby's, and with any purchase, you'll get your choice of a free slider or free 4-piece mozzarella sticks. That's right, free savory deliciousness on the house. But hurry, Arby's Guest Fest is one day only, Thursday, August 21st. Arby's, we have the meats.
Tickets are available now for the Oaklawn Sports Tailgate Party with 1037 The Buzz. Go to 1037thebuzz.com to reserve your free tickets.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, it's time for Arkansas's #1 collar-driven sports show. It's Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network with your hosts, Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaeffer. Lock it in and get ready to dial us up. Drive Time Sports is on the air.
Hour number 2 at Drive Time Sports here on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaeffer returns on Monday. I'm Randy Rainwater.
It's time for the basketball insider in Arkansas. It's Bart Reed, made possible by Martin Orthopedics, with locations in Little Rock, North Little Rock, Cabot, and Hot Springs Village, staffed with fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons and sports medicine specialists. For more information on the web, go to martinortho.care. Now, here's Bart. And now, Trey Biddy is brought to you by Crain Hyundai, Arkansas's #1 Hyundai dealer, and Genesis of Conway, Arkansas's only Genesis dealer. Genesis of Conway, the future of luxury today. Now, here's Trey Biddy.
And before we talk with Trey, Honda of Russellville is Arkansas's #1 dealer. They will not be undersold. And they have the largest new Honda inventory in the state, period. For motorcycles, scooters, ATVs, side-by-sides, plus available now exclusively at Honda of Russellville is the 50th anniversary, hard to believe it's been around that long, the Gold Wing Trikes. And they also got a big shipment in of those Gold Wing motorcycles. Plus, you got to check out Honda of Russellville's Mud Pro Series ATVs and Mud Slayer editions, Honda Pioneers, Talons, Honda of Russellville. That's exit 81 off of I-40, better known as the Whataburger exit. Or check out the inventory at HondaRussellville.com or on Facebook. Trey, did it kind of feel different that you didn't have something to do today to go to practice? I know it's kind of like the dress rehearsal today for the major scrimmage tomorrow, but did it kind of feel unique? I know you've been talking about the 30 minutes has been kind of tough because you see the same things over and over again, but nevertheless, man, first time you don't do it, you think, man, I wish we had practice today. At least a little bit of it.
Well, they had practice today, Randy.
Yeah, but you didn't get to be part of it.
No, I was there.
Oh, were you there? I thought.
Nobody told me I couldn't go. I went.
Trey's got a cot.
Have I got my calendar mixed up here? I was thinking this
You
week.
might, yeah. So today, it was a little different, Randy. You got that part right. But today we had no media availability.
Ah,
after
that's
practice
what
for
it
the
was.
first time.
Okay.
But we did have practice today, yeah. Tomorrow we won't have any practice because they're running the second and final scrimmage of camp. But we will have post-practice availability around 11:45 to discuss what happened during the scrimmage with Sam Pittman and a couple of selected players.
So, in your opinion, what do you think they're wanting to accomplish tomorrow? What do you think is major on their agenda?
Yeah, well, I would hope that it's finding who the depth guys are. I would hope by this point that they've got a pretty good idea of who's rolling out with the starters. Now they've got a couple of guys banged up here and there. You could probably decipher by looking at the depth charts and stuff over the last few days who might not be in there, and guys that I think are probably going to, maybe win jobs, even starting jobs. So they've got a couple of guys like that. But overall, Randy, if it were me, Mike Washington wouldn't carry the ball a bit, and neither would Braylon Russell. I would not even put him out there. I wouldn't put Xavier Sori out there or Steven Dix. To me, it's like, let's find out who the guys that are going to help us. Because if you don't know who your starters are by now and what you've got in some guys, then that's another problem. So if you got some competition, some real competition at certain spots, maybe like at right guard, let's see Kobe Branham and Keyshawn Blackstock. Let's let them put something on film, that kind of stuff. But to me, I would be running a lot of 2s and 3s out there if it were me.
So in the case of Branham, I mean, this is a redshirt freshman. What has he been doing so differently in regards to Blackstock? Blackstock is what, a fifth-year senior? I know he's not all the years at Arkansas, but isn't he like a fifth-year senior?
Yeah, I think it's just some guys are more talented than others, and I think that's probably what this is. They have been impressed with Kobe Branham since he arrived. I mean, he was second team as a true freshman right out of the gate. He was the only guy that you looked at and said, that guy might have a chance one day, that whole second-team offensive line last year. And so it's just, that's what it is. I mean, even consider that he missed so much time with a torn pectoral. He is very stout. Talking with Cam Ball, he's like, I can get great work against Fernando Carmona, and if I want to mix it up, I can get great work with Kobe Branham. They've been, defensive linemen are, very impressed with him. So I think that's probably what it is. To me, Randy, if it's like everything is equal, like this guy and this guy are competing neck and neck, everything's equal, I go with a younger guy. If it's
That's
me.
true. That's true. All right, Trey, in regards to the wideouts, it looks like there's one player, maybe two now, that have separated themselves from the group. Of course, I'm speaking about Omega Blake, that being one. But everything that I'm reading from a statistical standpoint, and maybe even from a consistency standpoint, Monte Harrison seems to have separated himself from the rest.
I feel like that in a way. I've also heard a lot of really good things about CJ. And, Raylan Sharp is kind of Mr. Steady. There's things they want him to do better, but he's been pretty steady. I do think Omega Blake has emerged as one of the guys. And Monte he keeps putting up big numbers, like, huge one-play touchdowns. You know, I mean, you can't deny that that's out there happening as much as it's, as skeptical as you might want to be. And the thing with him, coming from baseball and a 10-year major and minor league career to football, there's all kinds of new calluses and new muscles and all that kind of stuff that have to get, acclimated, and also, just the understanding of the offense and all that stuff. And that's something that he talked about, and just how much better he feels he is, and what others say too. I think Monte is going to play a role. Now, we came out of out of fall camp last year, Tyrone Broden had put up all these big numbers, and he's going to do this and that, and how much he was underused under Dan Enos, and all this kind of stuff. And he didn't put up big numbers last year as a starter. And Isiah Satania, I think we were thinking bigger things for him, big jump, and he made a jump, but not just like a massive jump. So sometimes you just don't know. When Marcus Monk, and that would be the guy that I would probably compare mostly to Antonio Jordan in terms of size and age. Monk, we thought he was going to be a good player, but he wasn't a starter out of the gate, and it didn't take long, but he was, he emerged and was a really good player. So there's an avenue, for Antonio Jordan like that, as he continues to develop. I just don't know how set in stone we are at wide receiver, even though it looks pretty apparent that Omega Blake is going to be one of the guys, and Raylan Sharp is going to be one of the guys, and possibly CJ or Monte or Antonio, Andy Jean, Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, they like a lot. Jaylen Brown was number 71 ranked player in the country 2 years ago, and is super fast. Like, he might be a guy that comes on. You just never know. Like with Andrew Harris, here's another good example. Andrew was a guy that they liked, but they didn't see a whole lot from him. Then they put shoulder pads on, and it's like, whoa, this guy will strike you. Like, so what happens when the lights are on and it's game time? There'll be guys that maybe you didn't know what you had. Same thing like with KJ Jefferson when he was a sophomore. I believe he was a sophomore, when he was a sophomore, Sam Pittman will tell you we didn't know exactly what we had in KJ Jefferson. There's quarterbacks all over the country right now that have won battles in camp who are not going to be the starting quarterback throughout the year because they're going to go out there and they're not going to play well. And the guy that they beat out is going to go in and he's going to take the job from them. It happens every single year all over Arkansas for a few years it felt like they were rolling out the wrong starting quarterback. And, you go through camp and you're complete, you look at the completion percentage, the decision making, all this stuff. Well, it's live bullets out there and you get hit in the mouth and everything changes, That's why I always think and I felt like with these young guys, with Trevor Jackson and Grayson Wilson, make those guys as live as you can. Like, don't kill them, obviously. Don't get them killed back there, but make them live when they're running the ball and stuff. You're not relying on those guys this year. Let's see what they've got, because quarterback gets misevaluated so many times. That's a big advantage, I think, for Arkansas, having a returning starter at quarterback. There'll be other guys out there who are in their first year as starter who nobody knows about, who are going to end up being stars across college football. And we look at it and we say, well, this guy, they don't even know who their quarterback is going to be. Well, they may be in trouble, or they may have Johnny Manziel. Did anybody really know who Johnny Manziel was before? Nope. I remember the first game Johnny Manziel played, it was against Florida. He was a redshirt freshman, and I thought, oh, no. You could see it on the first drive. You could see, like, oh, my gosh, they've got a really good quarterback here. And he was just a redshirt freshman. But there are guys that may look like Johnny Manziel in practice, and you get them out there and they can't hit the broadside of a barn. So there's all kinds of things like that throughout college football. And, I think it's amplified at the quarterback position, but there's situations like that at guard. You got a guy that you think knows what he's supposed to do, and he gets out there and people just olay right past him. Or, he doesn't perform well under the lights. Guys that look like they should be really good at cornerback who just get smoked. when the game times, start, because maybe they're going against wide receivers they're familiar with, and they know their tendencies, and they get out and they play somebody they're not familiar with, and they get, faked out of their shoes. All that kind of stuff can happen, but you can go as much as, you can find out as much as you can in practice, but until the game lights are on, you don't really know what you got in a lot of cases.
You bring up something, you just kind of touched on it, and that was the corners. Are they going to be more in zone this year than last year? They tried a lot of man-to-man. They got burnt a lot.
Yeah.
We feel like the talent. You feel like the talent may be better, Trey, but maybe they don't trust him right now to play man-to-man.
And I'll say this too, like people say, Trey, that it's a day game, but they turn the lights on even for day games. The lights will come on, so that still applies. You were asking about about playing more man or playing more zone.
Yes,
they got away from playing so much man last year. They want to be a man team. They want to be they want to sprinkle in some zone and play man. Last year, they started that. They lost trust in the players being able to do that, and they moved over to more zone defense, and that didn't work either. Yeah, so they would like to be more man, if possible, and sprinkle in some zone to keep you off balance, ideally. They think that they've got the players to do that. As I mentioned yesterday, this is where all the money went on defense. I mean, they brought in players at other spots, but the majority of the money that they spent last year was on this secondary. The majority of the money that they spent on offense was on the offensive line. So let's see. Let's see if it plays out that way.
And two areas that they were horrible in.
Two areas they were horrible at, yep.
All right, Trey, this is from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line, coming back to the wide receivers. Question for Trey. Do you believe Bobby P. will use all receivers in different ways like he did with Joe, Jarius, Childs, and Hamilton, etc.?
Is that question that they're going to use a bunch of receivers, like all these receivers? Or
sounds like it. Just use receivers in different ways.
I think you find about 4 guys generally. I mean, he mentioned 4 guys basically, and you're going to travel, 8 probably, but you will generally not play more than probably 6 and mostly 4. That's how it'll shake out. And you're going to see like Raylan Sharp and Cam Shanks, both those guys, motion into the backfield, maybe take a handoff, maybe run a wheel route. I saw that in the spring a good bit. You'll see them both on the field at the same time sometimes. And you know what? If they're 2 of the best 3 wide receivers, then
correct.
Put them out there on the field at the same time. Shanks has obviously had a hamstring. They've mentioned that, so I can mention it. But he's had a bit of he's been back, but he was slowed a little bit throughout camp. But yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of stuff, a lot of quick game with those fast wide receivers, and hopefully they'll try to stretch the defense. Hopefully they've got guys that can stretch the defense out, so they don't just not respect that. That's where we start talking about Omega and Jaylen Brown and Monte Harrison and possibly Antonio Jordan.
All right, another question for you, Trey. This from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line. Chris from Springdale. Trey says, quote, you don't know what you have, but don't the coaches know where their team's talent level is based on certain objective standards?
Well, I hope so. I hope they have an idea. But like I was saying, like they thought they had a real stud in like Tyrone Broden, and his numbers didn't reflect that. So I don't think you can ever be 100%. Maybe you're 100% that you've got a guy in Taylor Green, who can be a difference maker for you. But I don't know that you always know unless they played for you last year in the same offense, because there's so much turnover. There's 50-something new scholarship players on this roster. That's over half the scholarship roster. It's crazy to think about, but that is a ton of players that are new. So I think you maybe have a decent idea, but I just don't know that on everybody you can ever be 100%.
No, you can't. And in fairness to this staff, particularly Bobby Petrino, and I guess Sam Pittman was in agreement with it, if there was ever one player who you can say got a second, third, fourth, and whatever opportunity, that was Tyrone Broden. Because I kept saying, why are they putting Stonehands out there? And then why are they throwing it to him? I guess because the defense recognized he wasn't going to catch it. Because there were so many times he was open and dropped the ball, but it may have been, Trey, game 9 before they finally started backing off of Tyrone Broden?
Yeah, it was a while. It was a while. I mean, they never really just like fully embraced Tesla, you know?
No, they didn't.
So, yeah, I mean, you're going to miss some guys like that. I mean, like, there are a lot of examples of players that you didn't. Nobody expected Drew Morgan to have 10 touchdown catches. His sophomore year, maybe it was junior. I think
a junior year.
Yeah, his third year, whatever that was. Nobody anticipated that coming. You know, and there have been plenty of other players. Nobody anticipated Baker Mayfield being Baker Mayfield. He's a walk-on quarterback who, you know. He started his career as a walk-on at Texas Tech. Texas Tech, by the way, had Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes on the same team at one point. Isn't that crazy? And they both, Mahomes ended up, playing obviously, and Mayfield left. But you just don't ever know until they're that guy. Zach Painter. I see Zach Painter every once in a while around town. He was an all right player, and then they moved him into that like nickel type of bandit rover type of spot, and next thing you know, he has a bunch of interception and he's first team All SEC.
Yeah,
I mean, like sometimes it's the scheme that guys are just a better fit for. So yeah,
his dad was pretty good, by the way. Did you ever know Roy?
No,
Roy Painter.
I mean, they're from Jonesboro, so I just. I got to know Zach just probably a little bit after college.
Roy played for Arkansas State, then went and played for the Jets. I mean, he was a super talented player, and his thighs, humongous, had exceptional athlete.
Yeah, I knew his brother. Who passed away a few years ago, Zane, really good guy. But he was a really good athlete. I knew him in college. He was closer to my age.
Roy thought he could play softball, but that's another story. Anyway, Tesla, this is from our D3 Auto Sales Bus text line. Tesla has a preseason touchdown. He's looked good, what I've seen so far.
Yeah, I saw the touchdown. It's been a couple weeks ago, but I saw that. Yeah, I mean, he was a third-round draft pick, so they obviously believe in him.
And then this one from our D3 Auto Sales, Trey, what about Keon Hatcher, who's still playing in the Canadian Football League?
I always loved Keon Hatcher. I remember when he just kind of took the reins of things in the wide receiver group. You always, you see guys that are, freshmen or sophomores, redshirt freshmen, and they're just kind of, following. And it's always cool to see when a guy like that, takes it up a notch. Keon got hurt, if you remember. He had that foot injury in the Toledo game, I believe. I believe that's when he hurt his foot, and I think he was out the rest of the season. But, yeah, he emerged like that. George Wilson was a walk-on wide receiver and was a multi-year starter for Arkansas, and then ended up playing a bunch in the NFL at safety.
Buffalo Bills.
Sometimes.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Trey, have a great weekend. Look forward to talking to you on Monday.
Bye, guys.
That is Trey Biddy, hogsports.com, being brought to you by Chris Crain Hyundai in Genesis of Conway. Drive Time Sports will continue in a moment.
Food Giant presents Razorback Baseball color analyst and Drive Time Sports co-host Rick Schaeffer every Tuesday morning on Morning Mayhem. Rick will share his special take on Razorback sports with the guys each week. And with Food Giant, the meat people, the only stop you'll ever have to make for your family's groceries.
The Arkansas Poultry Federation presents Wingstock 2025, Saturday, August 16th from noon to 2 at Simmons Bank Arena. Indulge in all-you-can-eat chicken wings featured by local restaurants and vendors dishing up their best wing to compete for the People's Choice Award and the coveted Golden Wing Award. Plus, a variety of domestic and craft beers available for purchase, music, giveaways, and more. Tickets are available now at Ticketmaster.com. Brought to you in part by KARK4, Fox 16, 103.7 The Buzz, and The Point 94.1.
For over 30 years, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has been Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters and the only stop for all your truck parts and accessories. If it goes on a truck, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has got it. And that includes upgrading your truck with Vortex spray liners. Tough, durable, proudly made in the USA. Their spray liners can protect your truck for years to come. Call Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse at 501-568-0040 to schedule your spray. Or stop by 65th and University.
It's Justin Aker for CertaPro Painters, and it is summertime. If you're looking for a project to be done at your house, then get them on board now. You can sign up for your free estimate, and you can get your project scheduled as well at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. I've had painters work in the past, and you don't get the kind of experience you get with CertaPro, where they're going to clean up after themselves, leave you with a great paint job, and they're going to do it all at an affordable price. For your home, for your business, CertaPro is the answer. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. So get them on your project now, again, at CertaPro.com.
I'm Dr. Lowry Barnes. When it comes to orthopedic care, there's no place like the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. We built this hospital just for you. With state-of-the-art surgical suites, advanced technology, and the state's largest group of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons. It's the best place in Arkansas to get you moving again. And if you need urgent orthopedic care, UAMS Ortho Now is right here for you at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, where motion lives and service leads.
We got the big deals at the Big Rock. Got the big deals at the Big Rock.
Hey Arkansas, it's Terry Harrison at the Big Lot, where you'll find the biggest selection, the biggest savings, and now you'll find Big Steve Landers.
That's right, Arkansas. I'm back in the car business at the Big Lot. Don't be confused. The real Steve Landers deals are at Chris Crain Dodge Jeep Ram.
Come see me and Big Steve at the Big Lot. Chris Crain Dodge Jeep Ram, Alco Road in Benton.
The Big Lot Benton.
This is Chris Roberts with Southern Bank. We see people seizing opportunities, building communities, and achieving their dreams right in their hometowns. That's why we provide services, resources, and tools that help you accomplish what you want, where you want. Whether you're starting out, starting over, or starting something new, we have account options designed to work for you and your goals. At Southern Bank, we know where you're coming from because we're from here too. To start your relationship with Southern Bank, visit one of our local branches or online at bankwithsouthern.com. Member FDIC.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, you feed your crave for sports by listening to Drive Time Sports. Much like you feed your crave at any of the 7 Eat My Catfish locations. For peace of mind, share with us a piece of your heart. This is Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network.
Welcome back once again to Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network. We got a house full. We'll get to those in a moment. Joining Bart Reed, I'm Randy Rainwater. Let's see. When I start talking, I don't want any of you to leave, okay? Because when I start talking, I'm talking about food. So I'm not even going to turn your microphones on because I don't want you to be slobbering into the microphones. But here's the deal. This is at the Riverfront Steakhouse, Wyndham Hotel in North Little Rock. Now, there's an option that goes on here, Bill. A 6-ounce filet. A 6-ounce filet. Can't get any better than filet, right? I know you can answer me right now. With carrots. With carrots. Hot rolls that melt in your mouth with lots of butter. Tons of butter. And a 28-item salad bar that includes baby shrimp with homemade dressing. That's $29.50. $29.50. Tell me where you're going to get a 6-ounce filet for $29.50. You can't. Okay. I know. See, I'm letting you talk, and I can't even see what that one does. Can you hear me now? No. Yep. No. No. Damon, what's going on? Bill's on the microphone right now. Well, no, I did that a moment ago, but nothing. Okay, we'll keep talking. 8-ounce filet. Here's the ore. The 8-ounce filet, seasoned, cooked to your preference, with an extra large. This is the DB canoe size baked potato. I mean, it's that big, Bill. That big. Okay. Extra large potato topped with the giant. I mean, it's about that big around. Fried onion ring. How much you say? $39.50. An 8-ounce filet for $39.50, and you get the salad bar. So, you better get down there now. Get your reservation made. 371-9000. 501-371-9000. Ask for Uncle Shapur or Cousin William. And that's the Riverfront Steakhouse, Wyndham Hotel in North Little Rock. Do I need music to properly introduce this gentleman in particular? Because he is a champion. We don't have that here on the screen, so I can't play that one because I don't have it. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and jump right in. Isiah Joe joins us. What's up, my brother?
What's going on? How you doing?
Last time you were in here, you couldn't give me this ring finger indication, but now you can. How does it feel?
I sure can. It feels great, man. Dream come true. You know, we accomplished what we set in mind at the beginning of the year, and now we're sitting here waiting on the rings.
That is Isiah Joe. When did you know, Isiah? I mean, this was a very competitive series with Indiana. When did you know we're about to become world champions? When did you get that feeling?
Maybe with a couple minutes left in the game 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not any sooner than that, because obviously we're going against really good talent. Everybody that's in the position is deserving of being there, and they made it a battle all the way to the end. And so I would say with maybe like a couple minutes left, you start to look up at the scoreboard and see the difference in the scores. It's like, oh shoot, it may be right now, but you understand that like once that buzzer goes off, it's gonna be a different feeling.
At any point, did it start kind of making the sense, if you will, everything that you'd gone through from the very beginning of the camp back in October, November, whenever you started, but did it all kind of start coming together like, man, this is what we paid the price for?
Man, I don't even know if I've had that moment where it just all made sense or settled in. It's just kind of more and more each and every day. Things remind me of it. Coming to this camp, talking to you guys, having opportunities to travel and do things of that nature. But I think for me, it's just like being able to do it. And I've said this plenty of times today, but with the people that I love, enjoy these moments with my family, my loved ones, everybody in my circle. And then now I get to have a camp with the platform that basketball has given me, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to ask me about it tomorrow, so you can get my answers ready for that.
When do you get your ring?
I'm pretty sure home opener. Yeah, I think that's what it said, home opener.
Have you had a chance to look at it? See what it looks like?
I don't know.
Have no clue.
I have no clue. Better be good.
So once you get that ring, how much will you actually wear it?
I honestly don't know. Have an answer for that. I've been telling myself I'm gonna be more of a showcase person. I'm just gonna put it up in a box in a case. You know, have it some lights on it or whatever. But I may bring it out for like special occasions, like real special occasions.
That's a pretty good reason why. All right, Daryl, what's going on with you? Get us up to date. I got to get you up closer to the microphone.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
There you go.
It's good.
Go right ahead.
All right. Going back overseas, going back to Europe after a year of not playing, coming off a ACL injury, so just getting back in the rhythm of things.
How long does it take to get back into the rhythm? You're speaking to that. How long does it take to get back into the rhythm after an injury like that?
I would say realistically, maybe like 4 or 5 months, maybe 4 or 5 months just to get back confident and just running again.
After being healthy?
Yeah, after being healthy.
Yeah.
So it took me like 4 months to just get comfortable, like taking off running again. Because every step I took, I always thought I was going to mess something up. So
is it harder to come over the mental part of it or the physical part?
That's all it is. It's mental. Okay. When you're healthy, 100% healthy physically, the mental is probably at like 50%. So the whole time my physical therapist is telling me and my surgeon is telling me, like, you got a whole new knee. Yeah. Just go for it. But my mind is telling me no. Like, honestly, like, it's like, no, don't do that. But physically, I'm good.
In many cases, the knee that you injured is actually stronger than the other leg.
That is true. That is 100% true. I feel a lot stronger than I did before I even got hurt. I worked on so many things that I never worked on in my career. So I feel a whole lot better than what I did before I got hurt.
Is it going to make you a better player?
Oh, that's hard. But, yeah, I'm going to try. I'm going to try to be the best I can after this injury. That's the main goal. That's the main goal.
All right, Bill, are you able to – let's see if you're –
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Good.
What does it feel like? Do you feel like a big papa when you see what's happened with Daryl, what's happened with Isiah?
I'm just really just happy for those guys, and I tell them all the time, and they probably, I don't know what I had so many speeches with them when they were playing, so, and some of it they probably tuned me out. I don't know what they picked up on, but I always told any of these guys that play, man, the only thing that you owe is to give back. You don't owe me nothing personally. You don't owe anybody nothing, but you see somebody that you can make a difference in and help out, then that's what you need to do. That's the only thing that and they, for whatever, if they listen, they get it from their parents, they get it from their families, but these guys believe in giving back, and that's what I like most about it. Now, of course, I love the fact that they're playing professional sports, that they, making a great living. I actually got a chance to go to the NBA Finals, which was on my bucket list, so,
I'm glad you invited Bart and I.
I'm thankful to listen. When Derek, Isaiah's dad, called me and said, "Hey man, Zay got a ticket for you." I said, "Okay." He said, "If you just drive to Fort Smith, you can jump in the vehicle with me." So of course I drove to Fort Smith, got in with Derek, and I mean it was like a whirlwind. I absorbed everything. It was like just the whole day I was like a kid in a candy store. So I'm very thankful for that. But my main thing is watching these guys give back and and working with young people. And they always giving them their time and whatever knowledge they've learned, they're trying to pass it on. So, that makes me happy. That makes me feel really good.
All right, Zay, we're doing it again. What are we doing again this year?
As far as the camp goes?
The camp, yeah.
So
you run back another NBA championship. I'm not saying that.
That's always the plan.
Yeah, baby.
But, yes, going on year 3 of the Shoot camp. Got two sessions tomorrow, the first one being from 9 to 1, which would be our younger group, and then we have the elite group from 2 to 6, which would be me and Daryl collaborating on that, working with the kids, helping them out with anything that they need on the court, trying to give them skills and drills to take, for the rest of their lives. But excited to get year 3 kicked off. Like Coach Bill said, this is just something that we've always wanted to do, is give back to the community that's helped to make us the players and the people that we are today, especially with the platform that we have, the availability that we have, and, to make a difference. The feedback has been really good in our past 2 years, and so we're just trying to continue to build on that.
They always want to know, how hands-on will you be?
We're very hands-on. We interact with each and every one of the players. We hop in drills with them. At any given moment, they are always welcome to pull me aside or Daryl aside to ask questions. If there's anything that they've been curious about, it doesn't even have to be pertaining to basketball, but it's just we're just there for them. We want them to be able to leave and say that they enjoyed themselves and that they got better, or they learned some knowledge that they didn't know before coming in. And so, yeah.
So, Double R, I say there's no shortcuts in basketball. 2 of the most successful basketball players to ever come from this state, but they are also 2 of the hardest working guys. And so if people take away anything, it's the dedication, and they live and love the game. And I think it's probably one of the most valuable lessons the young kids can learn. If you're not passionate about it and don't love it, forget about it, because the grind's too tough. And these guys love it and live it. It's good to see.
I was going to ask you, Daryl, how does it feel going from student, if you will, to teacher or coach, player? You're not the one that's listening. You're the one that's instructing. How different is that?
It's not too much different from leading your team when you're playing. I try to be a great leader. I'm not very talkative, but I don't think it's much of a challenge for me. I always love teaching what I learned at a high level to other kids, because I know everyone's dream, but I also know it's impossible for everyone to make it. But my thing is to come back and teach the kids what I've learned so far as being a professional, just so it could maybe be a lot easier for them, because they know stuff that I didn't know growing up, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. You can, Daryl, pull that microphone closer to you. You almost make me feel like you're straining just to get to the microphone. And I want you.
I didn't want to break anything. It wouldn't come to me at first, so I just left it where it was.
I wanted you to be comfortable, because it looked like you were straining to get out there.
I was having trouble at first, so I just left it.
Okay. These are, for what it's worth, these are voice-activated microphones, which means you have to speak into them to open them up, because if you don't speak into them, we can't hear you, unfortunately. All right, we got to step away for a moment. We have a full house. Isiah Joe, Daryl Macon, The Godfather, Bill Ingram, Bart Reed. Forget who I am.
On all of our social media platforms, presented by Luxury Pool and Spa in Conway and Russellville. They specialize in custom in-ground pools. LuxuryPoolArkansas.com.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, it's Chris Zender here at Frank Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep in Sherwood. The new 2026 Rams are here. These new trucks have the best warranty in the industry, 10 years, 100,000 miles on the powertrain. Come in and also ask about our special on the all-new return of the Hemi motor. We've got discounts up to $12,000 off remaining on 2025 Rams and finance rates as low as 1.9%. And also $8,500 off all new Ram 2500 heavy duties. The new Jeep Wrangler up to $5,000 off. And the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee up to $7,000 off, and up to $3,000 off the all-new Jeep Compass. We make it easy to buy, no high pressure, no haggling, and don't worry about your credit. Go to FletcherCredit.com and get pre-approved in minutes. Folks, we're still buying cars every day, so bring your old car to Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood and turn it into cash. At Fletcher Dodge, you always get the best price, the lowest finance rate, and more for your trade. Shop us before you buy anywhere else. Come see us in person at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood, or shop online at FletcherDeals.com.
The board-certified, fellowship-trained physicians at Martin Orthopedics provide complete care for students, adults, and athletes. At Martin Orthopedics, the surgeons and staff pay exceptional attention to every patient's needs. When you go to Martin Orthopedics, every member of the team aims to help patients return to their normal daily activities or playing the sport they love without pain. Whether it's your knee, hip, or shoulder, the physicians at Martin Orthopedics stand ready to assist. For more information or to set up your consultation online, go to martinortho.care.
When you do something for over 50 years, you get really good at it. Like Bert here. He's been lifting weights for over 50 years. He can bench press a 400-pound nose guard, deadlift an elephant, even clean and jerk a truck filled with watermelons. Fantastic rep, Bert. We're a lot like Bert lifting weights, except we do it with insurance. Williamson Insurance with Auto Owners Insurance, protecting your business and your family for over 50 years.
Hey, my gosh,
I
what a
cannot
show.
believe the week is already done. The week felt like it was like 6 weeks.
It was a great week, though, Roger.
Yeah.
Next week, we started off by being at the Doubletree for Sam Pittman and the Touchdown Club. How about
15
that?
straight weeks we're going to be
here we go,
talking
man.
about it. Listen, I'm looking forward to it. Rest up this weekend, because when we come back on Monday, it is to the wall.
Now, back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios. Eat fresh, eat local, eat my catfish. You've got Drive Time Sports locked in on the Buzz Radio Network. Here is Randy Rainwater.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports here on the Buzz Radio Network. I think I need to get a hold of Hawks. Tell them to give us some room here in this studio. We don't have enough space in here. We need one of those 2, 3, or 4, or 5 bedroom homes. Starting at $55 a square foot. You ever thought about 5 bedrooms for under $110,000? Are you looking right now for a duck club or hunting club, classrooms? You dream it, they can build it. Swear I passed one the other day on the road. Looked like a perfect office for someone that was on the move. And I thought, well, okay, got it at Hawks. Over 65 homes to choose from. 2 locations, by the way. One in Conway, one in Bryant. And it would be worth your time. I found it fascinating to go on to hawkshomes.net the other day just to look at all the different aspects, what they have to offer. And do you realize when it's to the point of delivery anywhere in the state of Arkansas, the setup includes underpinning, central heat and air. I mean, it's when you say underpinning, you want your home to look complete, and they make that home look complete. And if you don't have land, that's not a problem. In fact, need dirt work, utilities can all be set up into one loan. Located in Conway and Bryant, check out the inventory online at hawkshomes.net. You dream it, they can build it. I think it'd take me a half an hour to turn all these microphones on. I think it'd take me another half hour to introduce everybody. So we'll just say Bill Ingram, Daryl Macon, Isiah Joe, Bart Reed. There you go.
And I want to give a shout out to the trainers in the back of the room, because there's 2 trainers back there. They're 2 of the smartest guys that I know. And part of this thing is successful because so much time we put in just the attention to detail. So Don and Reese are back there, and they've great trainers, and got to give them a shout out.
Reese trains Mike Conley Jr., which originally played for us when we first started in AAU. Actually help us win a national championship when he was 12. And Don trains Isiah. So these guys training NBA guys on a consistent basis, and we have them in here amongst other guys, Bart and amongst other guys that's working with the camp tomorrow. So they're getting excellent training in. They got two pros here that's invested in Arkansas. You know, these guys grew up in our high school system, played for the Razorbacks, so they invested in Arkansas. They invested in our kids. So to have them here and have these guys with their expertise and training ability to work with our young people is something that we are really happy about.
Where is where is this going to occur? Where is it going to happen?
At Summerwood Sports Complex out in Alexander, Arkansas. Thanks to the Hendricks family and David and Doug Hendricks that will be in that wonderful facility. If you've been out there, then you know it's a wonderful facility, and I call all of it is new, but the newer part is kind of set up like an NBA training facility. So it's an excellent place, and thanks to Summerwood Sports that we have a great place to have a great camp.
Very good. Okay, and what time does it start?
The first session is grades 6 through 8. It started. It's 9 in the morning, 9 to 1, and then the second session is the top 25 elite players, and it's from 2 to 6. So we got 2 sessions tomorrow, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. Parents come, other people come, we don't, it's not that we're not saying it's open to the public, but it's really open to the public. And those guys are really open about letting people in and watching and working with kids. So it's a lot of fun, and it's great to see them work with the community.
Both sessions are open, or just the morning?
I would say both sessions open. We've never told someone you can't come in here, and especially a parent. So but we don't go out and promote and say, hey, it's open to the public, but the public comes in, of course, it's open to the public. And
sorry, Bill, I already said it was open to the public, so it's my bad.
You know, it's just one of it's one of those things where, you know, these guys are just happy to be in a position, you know, to give back. And listen, this is the great part about it. When they spoke to me and told me that they wanted to do this, they said, let's make sure, I want you to understand that 100% of the proceeds is going to charity. So that's the way it is. That's where it's going to be. And if we can't do it like that, then we don't want to do it at all. So we pick a charity every year. This year is Arkansas Baptist College men's basketball team, and that's where all the proceeds are going to.
Good choice. Good choice. All right, Zay. Pressure. Do you ever, and Daryl, you jump in as well. Do you guys ever talk about pressure? Do you ever feel the pressure? I can't imagine, even if you're talking the first round of the playoffs or second round, but the pressure that you have to feel to play in a championship series.
I think it's you prepare your entire life and in every season that you play, whether that's NBA, college, high school, to when the moments arise to be in the playoffs or even a championship playoff series, the game is the same. Obviously, you have this goal at the end of the tunnel, but once you're in between the lines, the game is the same, and you're out there playing with the same people, playing against the people that you've played against all season, and it's one basketball, two hoops, of course, same size. And so I think whenever you've practiced and put in so much work towards a craft, the pressure is relieved. Now, if you ask me to go up on a stage and sing in front of 20,000 people, then I'll feel a crazy load of pressure. But no, I'm playing basketball. I mean, I've been playing basketball my whole life, and I'm just fortunate enough to be able to make a living doing it.
Are you a singer? Do you want to sing now?
When I'm in a room by myself, maybe I might sing a little bit. But
Randy, this guy's a great golfer. Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew he.
He's a great golfer.
I feel like we talk about golf every time I come on here.
All right, Daryl, what about pressure? Do you ever think about it? Does you ever? I mean, you kind of like zoned out once you or zoned in, either way you want to look at it.
Yeah, I'm pretty locked in. Pressure don't really bother me too much. Every situation I've been in as far as pressure from college to professional, I think I handled it pretty good. But it's all a mental state of mind. So I try to just stay clear-headed during a pressure moment. I would say a big game, a championship game, whatever the case may be. I take every game as it's a regular game.
I don't know if you gentlemen have watched this movie, For Love of the Game. Kevin Costner. It's about baseball. Mm-hmm. And he's at the end of his career. And he starts off, he's going to end up throwing a perfect game. So I'll run the plot for you, but he'll throw a perfect game. But I'm guessing they want you to believe he's about 40, 41 years old, somewhere in that range. That's pretty old for a pitcher. Mm-hmm. But as he starts off, and I was talking about that zone, where he gets in that zone, tunes everything out. And there's a particular guy that's just aggravating the heck out of him, beating this drum. I don't know if you've seen it or not,
yeah,
Bill.
I've seen it. Yeah, it's a great movie.
And as it goes deeper and deeper into the game, as he gets fatigued, some old injuries start nagging, and then he starts losing that concentration and shutting things out. I mean, it is a great study of how a professional athlete, which is what you two gentlemen are, as you deal with that pressure and you deal with all the things that are around you and how you're able to shut that out. What was the phrase you used? Shut down the mechanism or something like that. I forget the exact phrase, but something like that. I mean, it really was indicative of what concentration you guys have to where you can lock out everything, including sometimes the battles you have inside your own self.
Mm-hmm. And Randy, go ahead, Bill. Sorry.
So, when these guys, and we've had certain guys like that, you have kids like that, when they were at a very young age, because both of these guys was small and they had these tremendous growth spurts, but they were small, they were shooters. And the guys, different people in our organization, Derek is Isaiah's dad, different people in our organization put these guys in situations where you had to make shots with pressure. And then by the time they got to me, I was the ultimate pressure. I kept pressure on them and made them do a number of different things to be able to perform. And they never folded. That's why you can see these guys hit big shots down the stretch. Because these guys living with pressure as far as that kind of pressure on the basketball for their entire lives.
Made them what they are today.
Yep.
Shot
All right, we will step aside. Hour number 3, straight up. Drive Time Sports will continue.
The Arkansas Poultry Federation presents Wingstock 2025, Saturday, August 16th from noon to 2 at Simmons Bank Arena. Indulge in all-you-can-eat chicken wings featured by local restaurants and vendors dishing up their best wing to compete for the People's Choice Award and the coveted Golden Wing Award. Plus, a variety of domestic and craft beers available for purchase, music, giveaways, and more. Tickets are available now at Ticketmaster.com. Brought to you in part by KARK4, Fox 16, 103.7 The Buzz, and The Point 94.1.
If I was a football coach wanting to motivate my team for the upcoming season, I'd load them on a bus and take them to Genesis of Conway. Let them know what winning looks like when you're committed to performance. You're going to find that commitment in every car you see and in every over-the-top service they offer. Oh, my team would be so fired up, they'd go undefeated. My offense would become known for their long drives, thanks to Genesis of Conway. The future of luxury today.
Get in the conversation with live fan feedback at 1037thebuzz.com. Presented on Drive Time Sports by Aero Truck Sales. Find them online at aerotruck.com.
The last bastion of quality programming.
Why would you listen to any other radio station than 1037 The Buzz? KABZ, Little Rock.
The man accused of killing a couple at Devil's Den State Park is pleading not guilty. Andrew McGann was arraigned on 2 counts of capital murder. Investigators say he confessed to stabbing Kristen and Clinton Brink. His next hearing is set for November 14th. A Hot Springs business owner is facing charges in a human trafficking investigation. More than a dozen massage parlors were raided as part of Operation Obscured Vision. 7 people have been arrested since January, including Xinguang Liu. He's accused of luring women from China to the U.S., then forcing them into prostitution at 3 of his massage parlors. The State Department of Health will be cutting 30 positions due to budget priorities. The cuts go into effect November the 1st. The jobs being terminated will affect the Hometown Health Support Services Program, Public Health Emergency Preparedness Program, and Health Disparities Elimination Office. This is Caroline Derby for the Buzz Radio Network.
Are you still on the sidelines? Then it's time you suit up and get in the game. Download Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app, Bet Saracen, today.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
It's going to be hot and humid today. We'll get up to 96 in Little Rock. It'll become partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. They'll die off in the evening. It'll become mostly clear. We'll drop down to 75 for the overnight low. Tomorrow, up to 97, but only a 10% chance of rain. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Looking to upgrade your home without breaking the bank? Go to the Warehouse, 2011 North 2nd Street in Cabot, Arkansas's trusted source for quality flooring, including SPC vinyl waterproof flooring starting at $139 a square foot, tile starting at 59 cents a square foot, next-gen waterproof hardwood, and many other building materials at unbeatable prices. Contractor, home builder, or DIYer, we've got what you need, in stock and ready to go. Go see the Flooring King, the Warehouse at Natural State Wholesale, building better naturally.
Join Rogers Saturday at Simmons Bank Arena for Wingstock. All-you-can-eat chicken wings featured by local restaurants and vendors dishing up their best wing to compete for the People's Choice Award and the coveted Golden Wing Award. Tickets are still available.
Hello, folks. It's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. Today, I want to talk to you and ask you to consider us for your automotive needs. First, we have a family atmosphere. My grandson Sam Fletcher is there every day, along with Zippy, our GM, and an outstanding sales team. We're a family, and that's how we want to treat our customers. Our service department is excellent. We even have loaner cars for customers who buy from us. We don't have loaner cars from buy somewhere else. When it comes to pricing, we put our prices on the windshield. You don't have to find a salesman to ask for a price. Everyone gets the lowest price. We check the internet and we compare the same make and models at all of our competitions. You always get the best deal at Fletcher Dodge, and all of our pre-owned vehicles come with a free warranty. Yes, I did say that. Folks, my goal for 36 years is for you to know us and trust us and know that we value you, our customer. Come see us in person on Warden Road in Sherwood or shop us online at FletcherDeals.com.
Summer's heating up and Brewski's is your chill zone. Doors open at 11 a.m. daily. Happy hour starts when you walk in the door, so come crush a slow lunch with smash burgers, loaded fries, and wings and 11 wild sauces. And now, booking a VIP section for that special night out in your favorite downtown Little Rock hotspot is easier than ever at brewskispubandgrub.com. Just pick your section, pick your date, and pay online in 3 easy steps. Brewski's downtown in North Little Rock, your home for lunch, happy hour, and late night.
At Capital Technology Group, we make your technology our priority. Our team of experts can become your outsourced IT department, solving problems even before you know about them. We provide and maintain everything from servers and network infrastructure to printers and digital copiers. As a family business with over 80 years of history in Little Rock, you can trust Capital Technology Group to be your business technology partner. If you're ready to get your IT in order, visit captg.com and sign up for a free consultation.
More fiber and laxatives, eh? Who are you? I'm Future You. Future me? Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Our doctor figured it out. It's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
The games are on, the food's delicious, and here you are always part of the team. Welcome to Walk On Sports Bistro, where every day is game day. Whether it's a post-win celebration, drinks after work, or taking the fam for some made-from-scratch favorites. Walk On's is your go-to for good times, craft beer, and cocktails, and bold flavors for fans of all ages, from melty mozzarella logs to Hall of Fame level burgers. Stop by today or order online in the app. Walk On Sports Bistro, game on.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, it's time for Arkansas's #1 collar-driven sports show. It's Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network with your hosts, Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaeffer. Lock it in and get ready to dial us up. Drive Time Sports is on the air.
Welcome back to hour number 3 of Drive Time Sports. Rick Schaeffer returns on Monday. I'm Randy Rainwater from the capital city.
It's time for the basketball insider in Arkansas. It's Bart Reed, made possible by Martin Orthopedics, with locations in Little Rock, North Little Rock, Cabot, and Hot Springs Village, staffed with fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons and sports medicine specialists. For more information on the web, go to martinortho.care. Now, here's Bart.
Double R.
Are you impressed, Daryl? Are you impressed, Zay, with that introduction for Bart?
That was fire.
That wasn't bad.
That was fire.
That wasn't bad.
I was like,
hey, I'm partial to it.
Big time, baby.
I wanted to say this. People don't realize, because we talk about rankings and top players, and Bill's been on here with us all the time. These are two guys that made it to the level that they weren't highly nationally ranked when they were in high school and playing grassroots. These are guys that were, would you not say, under the radar?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Listen, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't go that far. When you 16 and you go play in the camp and NBA teams calling about you, you're not flying under the radar.
No. I don't mean under, but I'm saying from a national, we're talking about a lot of times McDonald's All-Americans.
Yeah. You know how I feel about that, though. When you get to college, it's one of those jobs where your resume means absolutely nothing the day you walk in the door. Everybody's starting from ground zero, and the coach going to play the guys that's going to help him win games, or is he probably going to have issues keeping his job.
All right, let's start with there. Zay, what does it mean to you, or does it mean to you to be a Razorback, to become a Razorback? Same thing with you, Daryl, after Zay has his moment.
Yeah, man, being born and raised in Arkansas and having two amazing parents who are alumni there, it was everything I ever wanted, especially when it came to getting a scholarship somewhere. No matter who I talked to or what other offers I got from any other schools, I knew that if I were to get that Arkansas offer, that I was going to commit pretty much on the spot. And so when that happened, man, I was ecstatic. I know my family was too, because they're the ones they tricked my brain into to being nothing but Arkansas, which I'm glad that they did it that way, because they made sure I was at every football game, basketball game growing up, a lot of them. And then I just grew that love and that joy. And then I was fortunate enough to be recruited by Mike Anderson, who became really close family friend. And so that was an amazing experience. I'm 45 minutes from home. My parents get to come to all the home games. I couldn't really ask for anything better.
Absolutely. All right, Daryl?
Yeah, man, going to Arkansas was a dream come true for me. It's the only team I've been watching since a kid. Getting that scholarship from Arkansas, it was no other school that could call me at that time. I didn't care about no other school. From Ole Miss to Kentucky, it didn't matter. I was going to Arkansas. Opened a lot of doors for me. I was able to get my degree in sociology from there. Was able to meet teammates that I'm still friends with to this day. I had a coaching staff that were like 4 different father figures to me, so I can still call on them if I need anything. So just being a Razorback was everything, honestly.
Now, I'm looking at your resume, and I admit that playing professionally overseas, sometimes you can't necessarily be choosy, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But I see Russia. It'd be my luck they'd send me to outer Siberia, and then China. Mm-hmm. Talk about your experiences both in Russia and China playing professionally.
Russia was a bit challenging because I went over there and the war was starting with, I want to say Ukraine.
Yeah.
I think it was Ukraine.
Yes.
So I was over there while the war was going on. So it was a bit challenging trying to live your everyday life, not knowing what could happen. You walk out the door, you just don't know what could happen at any moment. But I did win my first championship as a pro overseas in Russia. But China is more like the States almost. It's the safest place to me in the world. You don't see a lot of crime over there. Basketball-wise, it's a little different, though.
How do you communicate, whether it's in Russia or whether it's in China? How do you communicate?
Well, China, I had a translator.
Okay.
That was everywhere I went. And then in Russia, you got people that speak English, depending on where you go. Now, some people, you got to pull out your Google Translator. But for the most part, they know what you're saying, but they can't say it back to you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Isiah, let's talk about from the moment you went into the NBA, it was with Philadelphia. Have you thanked your lucky stars? Have you pinched yourself? You go from Philly, and I'm sorry, that's a mess up there. That stays a mess up there. And now you're with OKC. Do you kind of thank your lucky stars knowing that you ended up now with the World Championship?
I think my journey. Obviously, Philly has their flaws, but it groomed me to be a stronger, better player. Adversity builds character, and I think that helped me along the way. And it makes it more appreciative whenever you are in a better situation, still playing the game that you love. At the end of the day, when I was in Philadelphia, I was still playing basketball, so my complaints were not as bad as the next person, you know. So still met like lifelong friends and all that there that I still talk to this day. But yeah, ending up in Oklahoma, first off, I'm 3 hours from home, so it's almost like being back in Fayetteville again.
Mm-hmm.
Parents get to come to all the home games, which they did. And it's more my speed, more my lifestyle, quiet living, suburbs, and other than that, man, the organization was phenomenal. I really do appreciate Sam Presti for, you know, bringing me along, and then Mark as well as all the other players, you know, welcoming me with open arms. I was fortunate enough to touch down over there and have Jay Will by my side, so that was pretty dope. But yeah, the journey has been great. You know, even starting in Philadelphia, I think without that, I wouldn't even have this opportunity.
All right, when you got your first big check,
mm-hmm.
What did you buy first? Now, I understand Daryl is not a fashion king, yet the first thing he bought was jewelry.
Who told you that? No, that was not the first thing. My first check went to my mom.
Okay. Cool daddy.
It didn't go to me.
That's cool. That's cool daddy.
It did not go to me.
But when you got that one check that you spent money on, what did you spend on?
A car. Well, a house first.
Okay.
A house, a car, and then I paid Uncle Sam.
Okay.
So that's where my money went. Most of it went to Uncle Sam, to be honest.
All right, Zay, what about you?
Yeah, when I first got in the league, I still was living like I'm in college. I still kind of am to this day. I mean, I spend my money on what I like, and I bought a car with not my first big purchase, but after my rookie season going into year 2, I was like, you know what? I like that car. I've been wanting it for quite some time.
What'd you buy?
I bought a BMW M4.
All right, baby.
So that's my baby. I'm probably gonna have that one with me for the rest of my life, and we're gonna roll it till the wheels fall off.
What about the necklace around your neck?
That was also right before at the very.
Expensive.
We don't gotta talk money, man. But that was right at the beginning of the season. I actually had it made. I had this with the pendant. Got it made, I want to say, a couple weeks before our first home season opener, and so yeah, I felt bad about it.
I didn't realize you drew that back in the 5th grade though. You had this concept for a while.
Yeah, so I had the pendant that I actually got made for people that are listening in. It's a Z with an A at the top and an I at the bottom. It says Zay. My dad was going through some of my old school papers. I think it might have been like 7th grade or something like that. And he sends me a picture of this drawing, and it's that logo. I was just doodling in class or whatever. It's that logo. So it was actually his idea to get the pendant, because he was like, oh, this would be so dope. You got to get this made. And then I have Don behind me, my trainer. He's no better. He's like, yeah. Let's do that. So that's kind of how that transpired. But yeah, my dad found some old school papers. I don't know how. I think it was just the universe talking to us.
That's a pretty cool story into itself.
Zay, did you? I'm sorry, Randy.
No, go ahead.
Was Joel the MVP when you were there? I was trying, because you played with 2 league MVPs.
I want to say Joel got MVP the year that I left.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Joker that year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he was second.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what was?
But he was definitely, when I thought that my second year that he definitely would have gotten it, but you know, sometimes it doesn't happen that way. But
so, are they similar in the way that they attack their game, Joel and SGA?
I would say similar in the way that how they know they can pick their opponents apart, but obviously they get to their buckets a little bit differently. Joel being a 7-footer, Shea standing at 6'5", 6'6". It's different because Joel is that big, but he plays like a guard, and you just don't see that too often. You know, Shea, he's got this unorthodox movement to him. Joel just like, I'm going to get to my spot, and there's nothing you can do about it, Yeah.
All right, Bill, what would you say now is the strength of both Daryl's game and Zay's game? What would you say is their strength now?
Well, I think both of them, of course, their knowledge of the game has always been a strength for them. And now, of course, they've learned the professional game, so they can do multiple things now. When you saw both of these guys when they was younger, they was known for their shooting. And at the time, they started making that transition. You got to be able to do more. I always preach to them, and I'm sure I'm not the only coach to preach that to them. You got to be able to do more than shoot, because your shot is not going to fall. But now you graduating to now where they got to guard professional guys. So you got to be able to guard professional guys. And these professional guys, just like they are tough to guard. Some of these guys you can play great defense on them and they still score on you. So I think that when I watch them play now, both of their games are evolving to being able to play, the whole court. I see Zay drive a lot more now. I seen him a couple of times. He dunked on people. People was like, man, I didn't know he was so athletic. Daryl is playing the point, so he's great with the pick and roll, making shots. Then he can drive too. And both of these guys are still a work in. I think they're still a work in progress. I don't think they've even reached their peak yet. I'm glad that Daryl is back 100% because I've watched some film of him and he looks great. So, and then of course Zay started some games for OKC. Anytime you can have 3 30-point games in the NBA, that's pretty incredible because you got 400 jobs and you got at least 10,000 people want those jobs. So when you out there playing, you putting yourself in those kind of positions, then and these guys understand that you got to expand your game. The more things you do, the more valuable you become to a team. And I know both of those guys understand that. So it's just they still I think they're still a work in progress, which is great. These guys on their second and third contracts in these professional leagues, so it's obvious they're making the kind of living they want to make. But the whole thing was when these guys were growing up, they never talked to me about NBA. Their families never talked to me about NBA. It was always about getting better as a basketball player, and hopefully one day I can play college basketball. So that was the sentiment I got from them until they start getting 15 and 16. And I say this all the time about rankings. I think rankings is great. I've been doing this and involved in this for over 30 years. The top 5 is normally legit. And I'm not saying the rest of the guys not legit. Once you get past the top 5, you can get the number 50 player or the number 6 player. He may be the same guy. And you can look at draft boards and tell that. So, but it's amazing how how good these NBA guys are evaluated, because I can remember this clearly. Zay went to Pangos at 16. He came back as 3 NBA teams called about him. Denver Nuggets, Golden State, OKC. He ended up in OKC. He almost got drafted by Golden State on draft night. Now this when he was 16, wasn't ranked, and then you start looking at a lot of stuff. I can remember the day you say when Moody graduated, he was like ranked 39th, 40th player, but on the NBA boards, he was lottery pick. In the rankings, he was like 40. The NBA board, he was a lottery pick, and he ended up being a lottery pick. So it's amazing how good these guys are evaluating. But, you got to tell these young guys all the time, the guys that I know have been the most successful was the guys that wasn't really concerned about a lot of that stuff. They were just concerned about getting better and improving their game. And a lot of times that comes from within your closest circle, your parents, your coaches, and people like that. So, I watched these guys go through that process, and even other guys played in our program, with the exception of Joe Johnson and Ronnie Brewer. And those was exceptional guys. And, when you saw Joe, he was different than anybody else I've seen around in this state when he was 15 to 16 years old. Ronnie was a close second. So when you saw those guys, you was like, these guys are really, really different. But most of the guys when I see guys like Zay and Daryl, and even when I saw Gafford and guys like that, you like, these guys got a chance of being good college players, and they work like that. They didn't work, with these guys, because when you start thinking about all this stuff that's way out in space sometime, it doesn't happen, and it's not going to happen for everybody. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you turn out to be a great high school player, a great teammate, you learn values, you learn how to function with people, you learn how to be committed to something and work hard. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we just get caught up in a bunch of other nonsense, and these guys was fortunate enough where their families would not let them get caught up in that kind of stuff. They didn't even think about it. They was just trying to get to college, and then, of course, you start getting to college and, you start seeing different things, and things start changing a little bit. But up until that point, it was like, head down, let's go to work. And, I hope any of them are passing that message on to the rest of these young people. Head down and go to work. Don't worry about all that other stuff. Just it'll take care of itself.
All right, Zabe, you hear so much about the exit interviews before you walk out the door until the next fall camp. What did your exit interview go like? Do they talk about things they want you to work on, or what's an exit interview?
Yes, it's a little bit of a season recap, what they liked about your game and what they feel that you need to work on going into next season. Obviously, we won the championship this year, so it was mostly good things. But I think one thing that I told them at the end was just like, I'm motivated. This is a blessing to have this opportunity to win this championship, but I'm motivated for next year. I'm ready to get going again.
Want another one? All right, Daryl. What's your plan? Where are we in the process right now? What's in the future for Daryl Macon?
I have no idea what's in the future, but I am about to get back playing basketball in Greece for the time being, and just work my way back up to where I was before I got injured. It's not a place I haven't been before, so I don't have a problem working myself up and proving people wrong all over again. It's actually fun. So,
is there an NBA path?
Yeah, of course. NBA is always in the back of my head, but I also know the business side of it, and I also know that when the time comes, it'll come. I can't rush it, no matter what. So I'm just waiting my opportunity, and when it comes, I'll take full advantage of it. But until then, I'm just working on becoming a better basketball player. I'm not worried about getting back to the NBA, or I can't worry about the future. I don't know the future. So
Rand, I think Daryl is being extremely modest, which is. It's not the norm. It's not the norm for him. But he was actually one of the best players in Russia, one of the highest paid players. I'm not going to put out how much money he makes, because that's his own business. And China as well. And, he played 2 years on a two-way contract in the NBA for Miami and for Dallas. So he's back healthy now. And from what I've seen on film and watched him, at some point, he's very capable of playing in the NBA. It's just, how you get your shot and when you get it. But even if you're playing overseas and what he's been doing over there and the living he's been making, listen, I can't play a tick of the clock, and I know it's a ton of people would love to trade places with him, and be able to play. I can tell you a funny story about him. When he was in China, he sends me this video. I'm like, what? Daryl sending me a video and he in China for? So I'm concerned. So I look at the video. He like, Coach, look at this. It's a robot. Came to his apartment. He filming it. Dropped his food off. Took off back down the hall and went and got on the elevator. I'm like, man, wait.
A robot?
A robot.
Yeah, it's like a machine. It rang the doorbell for me at my hotel room. I open the door. I'm looking for a person, but it's a robot. And it opens up the door and give you your food, your drink, close it, and just walks back down to the elevator. Elevator opens, it goes back down to the lobby.
He filming all this, and he's sending me this on the film.
Oh, my goodness.
This was, 2 years ago
yeah,
before
it was like 2 years ago.
The robot thing was popular. I guess it's popular in California now, because when we were out there playing, we saw them all over the place, and we saw the cars just driving by themselves. Of course, the kids were blown away by that. Like, a car pull up beside us, and nobody's driving it, and someone is sitting in the back seat of it. The light turned green, the car take off, and they just, all my guys just go crazy looking at it like, oh, did you see that? So it's out there now, but when he sent that kind of stuff to me, it was about 2 or 3 years ago, it wasn't prevalent like that. So it was like, man, what in the world is that? Where are you living at?
That's cool. I know I promised you 6:30. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate your time. Good luck tomorrow, Zay.
And listen,
Daryl.
one more thing, Randy. We open up 5 more camp spots. I know I should have said this a long time ago. So if you go to Isiah,
don't miss the only Little Rock Games tailgate party of the year. We'll have hot food, cold drinks, and your favorite Buzz personalities behind Double B's at Markham and Van Buren. The Oakland Sports Tailgate Party is brought to you in part by Double B's, Bud Light, Reliance Bank, Crain Dodge Jeep Ram, and UAMS Health Orthopedic and Spine Hospital. Special thanks to Fence World, Arkansas Portable Toilets, and Arkansas 10 and Special Event Rental. Go to 1037thebuzz.com for your free tickets.
Tune in to Out of Bounds each Monday for Weekend Recap, brought to you by Fleet Management Services. Serving Central Arkansas for over 20 years, they're your small to mid-sized fleet specialists that also takes care of our fleet at Signal Media. Fleet Management Services is now hiring for Loop Tech, Tire Tech, and Light Maintenance. 8 paid holidays and paid vacation, paid health insurance, and 401k. Paid depends on experience and signing bonus. Apply in person at 901 East 8th Street in Little Rock.
We got the big deals at the Big Rock. Got the big deals at the Big Rock.
Hey Arkansas, it's Terry Harrison at the Big Lot, where you'll find the biggest selection, the biggest savings, and now you'll find Big Steve Landers.
That's right, Arkansas. I'm back in the car business at the Big Lot. Don't be confused. The real Steve Landers deals are at Crain Dodge Jeep Ram.
Come see me and Big Steve at the Big Lot, Crain Dodge Jeep Ram, Alco Road in Benton.
The Big Rock Benton.
It's Justin Acree for CertaPro Painters, and I highly recommend the folks at CertaPro for your next project, whether it's for your home or your business. Interior or exterior, doesn't matter. They always go the extra mile. They painted the exterior of my home before, and what impressed me the most was the attention to detail. They notice a few boards that need minor repairs before they paint them. They will take care of that as well and save you headaches later on. Schedules fill up fast, so get on the schedule now at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate now at CertaPro.com.
Hey Arby's fans, this Thursday, August 21st, it's Arby's Guest Fest. They're saying thank you the best way they know how, with free food. Stop by any participating Arby's, and with any purchase, you'll get your choice of a free slider or free 4-piece mozzarella sticks. That's right, free savory deliciousness on the house. But hurry, Arby's Guest Fest is one day only, Thursday, August 21st. Arby's. We have the meats.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Paid for by the Arkansas Highway Safety Office.
When second's making a play, short's got it covered.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself.
1, 2, 3, Wildcats!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
See Shelter Agent Steven Reiser, Seth Boyd, or Todd Martin in Jacksonville today.
Hey Central Arkansas, are you getting piggy with it and ready for some football? Donate blood with Our Blood Institute at select mobile blood drives August 16th through the 24th for your chance to win a grand prize tailgate package, including 6 tickets to the September 6th Little Rock game, Traeger Grill, Canopy, Igloo Cooler, and camp chairs. All donors will receive a limited edition football-themed t-shirt, trucker hat, and a free ticket to Magic Springs. So get out on that gridiron and support your community. Visit obi.org/events today.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios, where it's much like any of the 7 Eat My Catfish locations, minus the always fresh, delicious food options like the family pack catfish dinners. Drive Time Sports, tapped with refreshing sports opinion on the Buzz Radio Network.
Welcome back. Drive Time Sports here on the Buzz Radio Network. That was fun. The getaway sales event rolls on, but it's coming to an end soon. Right now, Crain Hyundai gets 0% financing for a full 60 months on Santa Fe and, yes, the Palisades. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. That's right, 90 days. New Elantra start at just $22,995, and you're going to get America's best warranty. That's 10 years, 100,000 miles, and the Hyundai Assurance. And the Crain commitment includes our love it or leave it exchange policy. You'll save thousands and lower your payments by hundreds during the getaway sales event now at Crain Hyundai with two locations. That's Colonel Glenn Road, right off of I-430 in West Little Rock, Warden Road in North Little Rock, and right off of 167-67. And you can always go online. Be sure and go online at crainteam.com and check out all the inventory. That's crainteam.com. And Crain Hyundai, as that getaway event continues on, but it's ending soon. Catch it now at Crain Hyundai of Little Rock and North Little Rock. Well, Bart, now it's just me and you, huh?
Hey, just me and you. And first of all, that was very exciting to see two guys really at the kind of the peak of their physical game, but peak of their mental game. And, of course, you know, I've said it before, Bill Ingram's touched most of the top talent in the state and even surrounding for a very, very long time. So it was a great deal. And I want to say this about Daryl, too, because he is being modest. Each NBA team gets a very limited amount of two-way contracts. That's how much the Mavericks, Daryl was on a two-way contract and really missed being on the permanent roster by one player. Giannis's brother was, which I felt like was, I'm just biased to Daryl, but was kind of a charity thing for him. So, but Daryl went and impressed at camp and is a super talented guy. And we talk about basketball IQ. Those are two of the smartest on-court players, decision makers you will ever see. So,
all right, explain that for those that are okay. What's basketball IQ? How does it relate in this case to the NBA game?
Well, because the NBA is a high pick and roll league, and you heard Bill say that Daryl's playing the one, and so he's in pick and roll situations all the time. So these guys are making a living, or a big part of their bread and butter is in pick and roll situations, which the entire league oversees. They're putting almost all their eggs in stopping that basket. So you're seeing all these type of specialty defenses. You're seeing all these different types of defensive scenarios where they've got to make rapid decisions. And, oh, by the way, you've got a 6'10", 6'11", 7-foot guy setting a ball screen, and you have a 7-foot guy guarding him. And they've just got to be able to make quick decisions. And when the ball's passed to them, they got to make reads in a hurry. And every level you go up, it gets harder and harder. So it really becomes a decision-making game and a read game more than it does anything else at that level they're playing on. So it's critical.
This from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line. Two of my favorites. My son was 5 at the time and used to always say, Mason Joe, anytime they made 3. I guess, Bart, one other question I wanted to ask Zay in particular, because you hear this, you read this, and to a degree you see this. But they talked about the off-the-court togetherness that this Oklahoma City team did and how they integrated not only their lives with their teammates' lives, but obviously into the community. And you hear that, and sometimes you think it's kind of hard to believe.
Right.
I mean, when these guys have got so much money, they can do whatever they want to do when they want to do it. And I realize you spend half your games at home, the other half you're on the road. And really, it's on the road. A lot of times we think a team is made. I think a team is made is what are they doing when they're back home, though?
Agree.
Back home, when they don't have to be forced to be together, so to speak. And I realize some of the superstars, they may have their own room, and I know that all the players have their own rooms, but I'm saying he may have a suite. He may have the penthouse, for all we know.
Yep.
But it sounded like these guys, from what I read, what I saw, I mean, I was particularly watching as the TV kept cutting away in those final, that Zay was talking about, those final 2 minutes, where it was beginning to impact. You could start seeing this championship was now within their grasp.
Yep.
And the togetherness that you seem to see, this brotherhood was right there in front of your eyes.
It was really amazing to watch because it popped through the TV to me, watching them. You could tell they genuinely liked each other.
Yeah.
And when Zay said, to your point, he told me that they spend a lot of time together at home.
Right.
When they don't have to.
Right.
And so to your point, and I think it shows all the way through every facet of their game. And when you get paid money to do that, when you get paid money to do something, chemistry and liking it, it's not a requirement.
No.
So, but I think it helps that they're young. And he also said, he said it was like an AAU team a little bit. And I think that's really cool. And that's the point that I think we're talking about. OKC is dangerous for a long time.
Absolutely.
They're not going anywhere. So it'd be fun to watch. But I enjoy watching teams that have an identity and have chemistry.
Well, I was curious as Bill was talking. He was elaborating on, because I asked him what was the positives of both Zay and Daryl, but I was curious what the feedback was going to be when they have that exit meeting. What can you tell some of these guys? What are you going to tell SGA? What do you got to work on? I mean, you MVP, playoffs, MVP of the league. What are you going to tell him to work on? For Zay, I think I would want to know ultimately, how do I get – I mean, we talked about this the other day. It's about minutes.
Mm-hmm.
How do I get – I would be asking their GM or whoever, coach, whoever was giving me the exit meeting, I want to be saying, hey, how do I get more minutes?
Yep. And they drill it down, Randy, to your point on that. They're drilling it down to such a micro aspect. When Toronto called me about Nick, but they were also very heavily interested in Isiah drafting him, they pulled his pin down shooting from the right side, that it had dropped 1.5%. And so when they're talking to two pros like this, they're breaking it down. Aim small, miss small. They're saying, hey, when you're pick and roll and you're going left, we're shooting 38%. We need that to get to 40%. And so small wins at that level pay huge dividends on the court. So that's how drilled down they're getting it for guys like that at that level.
I start saying, I almost feel like I could draw behind the three-point line. It's not the right wing. It's in between the wing and the top of the circle for Zay, and I would think he is money.
The slot, yeah.
I don't know what his percentage is from there, but it's funny. You could say, okay, if we moved him in 3 feet, or if we moved him 3 feet to the right or 3 feet to the left, what his percentage would be. Of course, as much as they may know that, the opponents know that.
Yes, they do.
So they are determined they're not going to let you get to that exact spot there, as you called it, in the slot. But those are the fine things that make the difference between whether or not against this particular team you get more minutes as compared to this team, and you don't get as many minutes because Team A may not be as equal or as good at keeping you from your spot.
That's right. And the defense, as they know so much about the offense or their opponent they're playing. But you see now how decision-making. So if the defense knows that much, think about what they think about every offensive trip down the court to be able to get to that better spot or to get in that percentage. And then you've got the same thing on defense, pick and rolls. They might think, well, Zay's maybe slighter of frame even though he plays really strong. So they might try to put him in pick and roll situations to make him a disadvantage to get him out of the game. So they can get him on the bench. So they don't have to worry about a 43%
Sure.
three-point shooter. So the science, the numbers, I love it, man. It's great stuff.
Yeah, you usually walk in here with a wad of papers that I can't understand, so that's okay. All right, this from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line from Lee. Said, Randy, taking my mom to the riverfront tomorrow night to celebrate just over a year sobriety. Pray for you, Lee. Hoping the Yankees could help the Cardinals a little bit this weekend with the wild card race. Still a slight chance. You and Bart have a great weekend. Ready to follow this new Benton kid Coach Cal is going after.
Hey, Spratt has really shot up in popularity, and he's a really grounded kid. He's really down to earth to be such a physically dominant athlete, and I'm not going to put that type of pressure on him. I see him almost like I saw JJ at that same. Big, strong, has a lot of upside to their game. So I'm interested to see how this young man does. I hope he stays in state because Coach Cal's shown us if you're 6'4" and above, you thrive in his system. He identifies his talent, but you thrive in that type of
See, I meant to ask you this the other day when we were talking about him, and we didn't get a chance to, but is he through growing? I mean, you're talking about at 9th into the 10th grade, 6'4", what, 6'4", 6'5"?
Yep. Yeah, I would say 6'4", probably leaning more toward 6'5" when I saw him this school year a couple of times. He's probably got, now listen, he might not grow much more, but if he grows an inch, I think he might grow a little bit.
I don't know. Coach Crawford used to take that credit card, rub it over their cheek, rub it over their face.
Yeah, for sure.
And if it didn't make a whole lot of noise, he probably still had some more growing to do.
Grow a little
He's
bit.
not through yet. All right, we'll come back and wrap it up in a moment. That's Bart Reed. I'm Randy Rainwater. Drive Time Sports will continue.
I'm Dr. Lowry Barnes. When it comes to orthopedic care, there's no place like the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. We built this hospital just for you. With state-of-the-art surgical suites, advanced technology, and the state's largest group of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons. It's the best place in Arkansas to get you moving again. And if you need urgent orthopedic care, UAMS Ortho Now is right here for you at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, where motion lives and service leads.
Hey, it's Craig O'Neill, looking forward again to a school year of reading stories to kids and getting me all over the state of Arkansas to schools everywhere. My GV80, Jenny from Genesis of Conway. And they've got a great story, a huge selection of pre-owned trade-ins, low mileage, terrific low prices, and top of the line. It's a story with a happy ending for you at Genesis of Conway. The future of luxury today.
Come check out the latest in large-scale logging equipment, attachments, supplies, technology, and services at the Southwest Forest Products Expo August 22nd through the 23rd at the Hot Springs Convention Center. Watch the Timberworks Lumberjack Show. See chainsaw sculptures by Artistry in Wood. Visit the online video arcade. It's fun for the whole family. Visit arcloggers.com for schedule, info, training, workshops, and links to the online ticket hub. That's arkloggers.com. 2-day pass for those 16 and older is $10. Kids under 16 free. See you in Hot Springs at the Southwest Forest Products Expo.
Welcome to Moe's. Everywhere you look, prices are going up, but not at Moe's Southwest Grill. Here, the best deal in burritos just got better. We lowered the prices on our Moe Monday special. The burritos and bowls you love are now starting at $6.99. Hot and delicious, made your way with high-quality ingredients. We never cut corners. Guess that's why our bowls are round. Come see us this Monday. And here's my daughter, Andy Kate, with a reminder.
Remember, kids eat free on Sundays. Welcome to Moe's.
Looking for adventure on 2 wheels or 4? Honda of Russellville has the largest Honda selection in the entire state. ATVs, motorcycles, dirt bikes, scooters, and side-by-sides, all priced to move. From the trail to the mud and back again. Check out our Mud Pro series featuring Ranchers, Foremans, and Rubicons. Want more power? Try our Mud Slayer packages on Pioneers and Talons. From mild to wild, Honda of Russellville has exactly what you're looking for. Visit us on Facebook or check out HondaofRussellville.com.
What's going on, everyone? DJ Williams here with the Buzz, and if you didn't think football season was here, well, Touchdown Club already getting underway. Monday, we're going to be joined by special guest, the head hog himself, Sam Pittman. Touchdown Club is sponsored by our friends at Arkansas Spine and Pain. It's going to be a great show. Can't wait to hear what the Boss Hog has to say, so make sure you tune in for that. Also going to be joining the show is Arkansas insider Trey Biddy. That's thanks to our friends at Point S Tire. A lot to talk about football right around the corner. Make sure you tune in The Zone, where sports and entertainment come crashing together.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, you feed your crave for sports by listening to Drive Time Sports. Much like you feed your crave at any of the 7 Eat My Catfish locations. The #1 sports radio show in Arkansas. Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network.
Drive Time Sports here on the Buzz Radio Network. You know, Double B's is giving away. That's right. That is the correct term. They are giving away a brand new Bad Boy 550 four-wheel drive side-by-side. Yeah, baby. And it is a bad-looking machine. Kind of like Zay's BMW. Well, maybe not quite like that, but it's close. But this Bad Boy 550 four-wheel drive side-by-side can be yours, but you got to register. There's 36 different Double B's locations. We will be giving this away on October the 8th. So, note, if you don't register, you can't win. Pretty simple. If you don't register, you can't win. So, go by your local Double B's. Be sure and register to win that Bad Boy 550. We'll give that away again on October the 8th. And then this weekend at Double B's, be sure and pick up that two-topping pizza for $19.99. Or on Sunday, you get the cheese or pepperoni pizza for just $8.99. And certainly you want to wash it down, so to speak, with some of those great Blue Bunny ice cream, whether it's the orange push-up, or whether it's the Neapolitan ice cream sandwich, or that old favorite, the drumstick, whether it's chocolate flavored or it's got the vanilla, strawberry, either way. And then you get the great daily, which turns into monthly specials at Double B's. Be sure and check those out as well. That's Double B's, where you gas it, grab it, and go make it Double B's. Now, I fell behind because I didn't want to take any time away from our great guest that we had, so I do want to mention how unpredictable this weather is and can be here in our great state of Arkansas, including here in Metro Little Rock. 1 minute, the sun's out, the next your power's gone. That's why the Rainwaters are looking at getting a Generac generator from Tri-State. Turns on automatically in seconds, keeps your home powered, cool and safe, even when the grid goes down. Right now, Tri-State is offering up to $1,799 off a new Generac generator. That's right, up to $1,799 off a new Generac generator. Plus, they'll throw in a free 3-year maintenance plan and a 1-year free remote monitoring plan. That's $2,499 value. Smart move, especially in this heat. Head to TriStateGenerators.com, TriState, TriStateGenerators.com to schedule your free quote. That's TriStateGenerators.com. Terms and conditions apply. Call for details. Now, Damon, we are up to date. Thank you. Thank you, Damon. I knew you'd be bugging me if I didn't get all those in. So we got them all in. There you go. You learned during the break that there could be a new visitor headed to Arkansas for a basketball visit.
Yeah. And listen, not only that, I think Arkansas, from what feedback I'm getting, might be in the top 2. So Cole Clower, 6'7", 6'8". He's number 25 on the ESPN Top 100. This kid plays for CP3, IMG Academy, so he's a North Carolina kid, is got game. Tyler Hero type of player, just 2 inches taller. So Randy Swag is the way I can describe this kid. So 29 points in the first half with UConn, Florida, Kentucky, and Arkansas in the stands. It's 29 in the first half at the Peach Jam against the family in the first. He can shoot it. He's not overly muscular, probably 205, 208, 210, but plays really physical. Loves contact, can go inside and outside, but has a pure three-point shot, like pure. So this would be a guy that would open up the floor for Arkansas Razorbacks, and apparently he's high on Coach Cal. But, you know, the usual suspects are recruiting. So you got Kentucky, Florida, UConn. So competitive marketplace, but I'm hearing he likes Arkansas. Coming October the 3rd to visit. Official visit.
Spell his last name again.
Cloer.
Closer.
Yes.
Closer. Okay.
Cole.
Closer. Okay. Well, and he's 6'7"?
6'7". Some people have listed 6'8". 6'7", 6'8". Rangy, got the hops.
Isn't that a close comparison to Chronister?
Chronister, yep. And so Chronister's in that range. Chronister, I don't think, is near the athlete this young man is, but he's a little, I think, probably bigger and stronger. So when you're looking at it, I think this is a spot where Coach Cal didn't have a shooter or an inside-outside scorer where this guy could fill in really nicely. You know, someone not as tall as Trayvon Brazile, but a little taller than Carter Knox. And so this guy's a rare talent, but certainly Chronister. And there's a young man from Oklahoma, which his name escapes me right now, is also 6'6", 6'7". So there's three players in that mix, and I think Arkansas is going to try to grab one of them for sure.
Sweet. Okay, are you a preseason ranking kind of guy? Do you? I mean, whether it's football, basketball, take your sport.
I like it.
Okay.
Are you? Yeah.
All right. Did you realize? Now we're talking football. Texas had never been a preseason number one in either the AP Top 25 poll or the coaches poll until now.
That's hard to believe.
I know it. Texas had never been preseason number one in the AP Top 25 or the coaches poll until now. Now, the Longhorns have been ranked number 2 in 5 preseasons. Now, I realize Arkansas has only won one national championship in football. And Texas, I think, has only won a couple themselves.
Yep.
But most recently, in 2005, they were in the top. They were number 2.
Mm-hmm.
They have been ranked number 2 in 5 preseasons, most recently 2005 and 2009. They've also started out number 3 4 times, most recently in 2006. Here is the interesting thing. Overall, Texas has appeared in the preseason top 5 quite a lot, 26 times, counting this season, which ranks, though, behind Oklahoma, Bart, 37 times.
Wow.
Ohio State, 34. This is the top 5. Alabama, 33. But now here is it's not where you start, it's where you finish.
Yep.
Okay? Oklahoma's finished in the top 5 33 times. Ohio State, 31. Alabama, 30. Texas, 22.
Okay.
Top 5. So that means they've stubbed their toe a few times. each season, which has knocked them out.
Yep.
And they start in there. How many times do we say?
26.
Let's see. 26 times. Thank you for keeping score.
Yep.
And that counts, including this season. But to finish only 22 times at the end of the year.
Because it didn't seem Oklahoma and Alabama seemed like every time they started in the top 5, they finished.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But you think that might be the pressure?
Well, I mean, okay, you take a couple of years ago, Colt McCoy, he gets hurt.
Yep.
I mean, I was in the championship game, I believe, when he got hurt.
Yeah, it was.
But you got to have a lot of luck. You got to avoid a lot of injuries.
You got to be lucky. You
got to
be good and lucky.
Well, we're lucky that you tuned in today. Thank you. Thank you to Bart Reed. Thank you again to Isiah Joe, Daryl Macon, Bill Ingram. I'm Randy Rainwater. Have a great weekend. So long, everybody.
Our guys aren't so bad, right?
This is taking unsportsmanlike conduct to a whole new level.
Well, maybe not.